Likely we're not going to end up being on this race.
I think Frozen probably first.
Yeah, I mean, great things to it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
It's like, wow. It's an interesting track. It's a mixture of things. Oh, my.
He's going to back the threads. Oh, the bomb!
Oh my God.
Frozen! That's a top three!
Are we on? All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this semifinal matchup in the Mario Kart World Cup between India and England. I'm here with my co-host, Torp.
What's up, everybody? It's a great day.
Great
day
match
to
for
be a
today.
gamer.
Great day to be a gamer, and great day to be a viewer as well, since these are two teams that have been dominating the competition in this Mario Kart World Cup tournament, and we are so excited to bring this out for you today. So I guess without further ado, we can go ahead and get into our lineups for both these teams so far.
Yeah, we're gonna start out
Yeah.
with the
Why don't you tell us about India for a second?
powerhouse of Team India, a newly put together lineup never before seen in the World Cup. They've got Emil, Jake, Ornan picks under their starting lineup that they've been riding with throughout the entire tournament so far. Tested, tried and true. I mean, there's nothing really bad you can say about this team. You know, they have a ton of individual talent combined with a lot of chemistry that they've built up, both from practicing together as a team and also just prior experience. Under is a really strong bagger. I think he works really well with these guys. And it showed. They were the first seed coming into the bracket stage, and they haven't dropped a single match thus far. So they just got to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that these guys can definitely go undefeated throughout the Swiss and bracket stage. I mean, they were the first team to advance to the bracket stage, going 3-0, having some close wins versus LTA and other teams in the Swiss stage. And now we see them in this bracket matchup against England, who hasn't really had, that dominant of a showing as much as India has. I mean, they got blown out by Japan, ended up winning that matchup, but still, there have been moments where we've seen the India squad dominate, and there have been moments where we've seen them sort of slip up a little bit. But I have no doubt that we're going to see some amazing work from them and all of their players today.
Yeah, let's check out Team England now, if we have that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have it.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get on to talking about England. So we've seen these guys dominate a lot in the World Cup in previous iterations, in most notably 2017, 2020, and 2021. However, they're running with a bit of a new, younger lineup this rendition of the World Cup, with Chi, Fred, and Zach all being pretty recent players for about 2019 to 2020. But then you've obviously got your veterans in the main lineup with Xander and Jazz. And Jazz, one of the best baggers in the world right now, if not the best bagger in the world for sure. Along with Xander's running prowess up in the front, we've seen him dominate the competition in this World Cup tournament before and in previous iterations. And Zach has been a really, really big wild card for this England team, the way that he has been absolutely dominating the competition, just doing an amazing job. He scored 133 points versus, I think it was U.S. North the other day. And he and Xander have just been doing an absolutely astonishing work for this Team England squad.
Yeah, like you said, England has seen this stage of the World Cup before multiple times. They're coming back with a different lineup, some new up-and-coming players who have really shown their stripes the past few rounds. And then obviously they have Xander, the backbone of the team. And I think that this team absolutely has the skill that it takes to win today. It's just going to be about whether or not they perform in this, high-pressure situation that maybe they're not as used to compared to their old lineup from a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and it was versus Japan. Zach dropped 133, not USA North. Once you do enough of these, it all kind of meshes together in your brain. But I guess looking at this bracket stage right now, we have another great matchup in the semifinal with USA North and USA South. So that does mean that one of the USA teams will be advancing on to the finals. And this India squad has kind of been joked around and told that it's sort of USA 3 since I think only Pix is the only person that's actually living in India in that roster. But I really do like the chances that India has today against England. I think that they are the better running team. The bagging, though, that's going to be a real big question. Whether or not Under is going to be able to keep up with Jazz is just a really, really huge thought that's on my mind. I think that Jazz is going to be able to outbag him. However, if he's able to get like 4 or 5 shocks, then I think it's entirely possible that India could take these matches home.
Yeah, it's strange when you talk about, there being a skill discrepancy in the baggers because bagging is so volatile that sometimes, having a slight edge can mean a world of difference. It can mean you're getting 3, 4 more shocks than the other guy, which can, change the tide of the war. But also sometimes it doesn't really seem to matter at all. So we'll see. I think Under's going to hold his own pretty well. I would expect it to be pretty even. Given how seasoned he is at this point in time. But yeah, you really never know with bagging.
Yeah, I mean, Under a prolific CT bagger, we've definitely seen him do very, very well in a lot of these recent matches for Team India. However, I think that Jazz has just been proven time and time again to be one of the best baggers in the world. He obviously won that championship with Ethereal in 2021 along with Bobby, another really amazing bagger, probably the best bagging duo I've ever seen with my own 2 eyes. And so it's definitely plausible that Jazz could get a lot of shocks here. However, it's going to be up to Team England to really utilize those to the best of their ability and, not just call willy-nilly shocks.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see India have a bit more frontal presence. First of all, they are hosting the match. Also, I feel like, just across the board, they have stronger individual runners. Jake is one of the most consistent players I've ever seen. There are wars where that guy stays in the front the entire time and he just cannot be touched. MLP has been so good lately. He's had a pretty steady rise on RTs over the past couple of years. He won the jackpot tournament for like $1,000 or something?
Yeah.
That was a huge moment for him. And he's been doing great in GSC so far. And I mean, Orton and Pix, no slouches either, not to be overstated.
Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with a whole lineup of lounge masters, then, it's really hard to find any flaws. I mean, Jaker is an absolutely phenomenal runner, like you said. He's played before in SY, KG, and is always dropping some really, really great points for those guys. Meanwhile, I think that Pix and Ornan, I mean, obviously all very good runners in their own right, but I feel like with their more, Mogi-aligned experience, I think that those guys are going to be pivotal, hitting out guys like Fred, Zach, and Chi in the mid spots and really just guaranteeing Jaker and Emil their top spots. I don't think that it's entirely impossible that we see some of those players running it up, since obviously all very, all very great runners, but I think that Chi is, I think that Pix is going to be really, really tough to handle in the mid pack.
Yeah, and that lag difference, like you said, he's the only guy on the team who's actually currently living in India, so, the other team's going to have to adapt and deal with that a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, if push comes to shove, I think India has a slight edge, but I could totally see England taking it. What do you think our game count's going to be here?
I think this will go to 3. I'm certainly planning for it to go to 3, since I think that both these guys are really, really great at what they do. But I think that ultimately, I think I'm gonna take England 2-1.
Ooh, okay. I would take India. I think if India wins the first match, I think they'll probably take it in a sweep.
Yeah.
But if England wins the first match, then it's all up in the air. So I'm gonna say India 2-0 by a hair. But
wow.
I guess we'll just have to wait and find out.
Yeah, close sweep. All right, I like it. So going into this race 1 here, I mean, obviously we're going to see the standard alt spot tracks. I think that India is definitely going to pick their Maple Tree Ways and their Dry Ruins, and we're going to see some Sherbet lands or some KCs from Team England. But depending on who it picks, do you think that like how do you feel about like India on DDR per se? Like I mean, they're very established runners, but do you have more faith in them, like sort of taking all the shortcuts and doing all the stuff like that than Team England here?
Yeah, I think when you're starting in first, the game plan on this track is way more simple. because you can just have one guy drive and then everybody else just kind of fills in their own spot. You don't really have to worry about overtaking first, and they should obviously have so much trust in Jake here to keep it, as I'm sure he will. So, yeah, basically, it's not really a big advantage, but England just has to work a lot harder to even the race out.
You see a conventional bag from Emil P here, and he does get the golden that he was looking for. So now he's going to have this golden, but he opts to use it pretty early. Now, obviously, there's a golden strat that'll take you all the way up to first or second place in most cases, but he opts to use it early since India doesn't have that much frontal presence, and now he's up here with Ornan.
Yeah, he wanted to get away from that TC, make sure that Chi got hit in last, which did work out as he planned, but yeah, not getting too much value out of the golden and getting hit, I think, by his teammate right after, so India still should be top spots because, Jake hasn't lost first, and I think Ornan made his way up there. And I think we're going to see a lot of this from Emil P, bagging for bills constantly. Kind of removing some variables for Jazz. Or it looks like Jazz is kind of gone in 10 right now already, so yeah, and especially the 2 days.
He gets the bill.
Yeah. There it is.
So that would sort of lead me to believe that Jazz might have to shock at this point because he pulled that bill in 8th. And I think
it's Fear. Wait, Fear's in. I just noticed Fear is actually playing.
Oh,
I haven't even thought about that. That was a big story that came out of their quarterfinals match. Is that Jazz played match 1, didn't do too well, and then they brought Fear in, who brought it home for them with 2 really good performances, and now he's back in semifinals. I did not see that coming.
Me neither. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, that's sort of on us, but yeah, I'm really shocked to see Fear here. But after last week's performance, I mean, I did ask Xander in the post-game interview if we were going to see Fear in this matchup today versus India, and he sort of said that they don't know. But now it looks like he's in here, and it looks like he's going to do a lot of work for Team England here as he uses the shock, gets his teammates into the boxes. Fred's not going to be able to get a box, but now he gets this Nana. Not very good, especially when he picks his triple reds around him. You can't really afford to pass him and get redded. So there are a lot of variables that are going on here.
And Jake gets hit out of first eventually. I don't know what happened there, but it looks like England's taking over at least first. This target pal could change things at the very end, though.
Oh. Looks like he did lose a couple spots off of that, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge shock, race 1, because Jake was first pretty much the whole time. And Emil P has Bill, so you have to imagine that India probably gets at least like top 2 out of that race if Under's able to pull it. But Fear starting off strong.
Yeah, I mean, Fear has just been having an absolutely amazing run this World Cup. I don't think it's even out of the question to say he's maybe been the best bagger up there with Mac and Roast and stuff like that. I think that Fear has definitely proven his worth as a bagger throughout this tournament, and he's a lot of the reason why England has had so much success in the bracket stage. So I'm really looking forward to what we're going to see from him today.
Yeah, despite that, India with a solid target pal call on the last turn to gain a couple spots over Fred, so they do end up winning the race. Pretty even so far. I didn't see anything crazy that match, but I do think we're going to see a lot of bagging for Bill, especially from Emil's POV. That's something that he does a lot. And I was also going to point out that it's interesting that both teams have one Daisy player, because usually you see one team having one, and that kind of changes how you pick certain tracks like BC Wii, DK Mountain maybe, maybe Parkway even. So we might see those later on in the war.
Yeah, that's a very important distinction to make, since Emil is obviously one of the best daisies to ever play in the game. He's up there with guys like Murabito, but she is also a very good daisy in his own right. I mean, he's been doing absolutely phenomenal throughout this tournament, and I think it's entirely within the realm of possibility that both these teams are going to try to get like a BC Wii or even a BC3 pick, just so that their daisy players can have an opportunity to get up in the front like that.
Yeah, GV comes out. I think this would have been an England pick. I don't really know for sure.
Looks like we're going to see Fred. He's getting 4th place box, so that is kind of decent.
What happened to their first place? Did Zach burn out or get bumped or something? But he's out of there. Not a huge deal on this track. They really just need one person to take rock and catch up.
But we should point out that Emil is currently in 5th place with a golden mushroom. So that he's definitely going to take the cut. That is going to slow him down just a little bit, but looks like he's going to make it. Yeah, looks like he's going to be able to take it just fine.
Yeah, moving up into 2nd, not a huge advantage yet for either team. That Nana might, end up changing things, because I think if he doesn't get hit there, he'd be pretty much right up there next to Xander. Either way, he's trying to cycle for a shroom in second, and there
And he gets
it
one
right away.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, if he's able to take this cut right here, then it's going to be hard to stop him. Maybe like a blue and a target pal will do it, but
Yeah,
you know,
the
other than
blooper
that,
comes in, makes it a little harder. Does he have the ice? Of
he
course
does have the ice. Yeah, of course, of course.
Wasn't
I mean,
the
when you just
greatest
play for so
gap of
long,
those,
yeah.
but, you know.
And looks like he is kind of being contested in first place right now. I'm not sure. That looks like Chi right behind him, and he stops with the blue, but it's too late. Oh, Chi is gonna have an easy run in first place now, and now he's not gonna have a box in sixth place. Where you gotta assume that.
Oh, he's
man.
bumped off. Such a
Oh,
rough spot to
man.
get pushed off. It was Fred there. We see it right after the fact. That swerve.
And we
to
saw
left
the
on
blue
him.
come out too. We saw the blue get thrown, so now that's going to be England probably getting out of first right now. We see both of the Goldens in play from both of our
I think
POVs.
England is top 4. Fred kind of waited a while. He could have used that a little earlier. Either way, he's still going to be the first one in cut by a long shot.
Whoa, yeah.
Let's see.
I've seen a good
India
race
might
for
call them out of the
England
cut. No shot.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, no shot. He's losing this race, and England is just rolling right now. I think that's the top 4.
Top 4. Top 4 for England right out of the gate, and it is immediately a match here, folks. Oh my goodness. After that race 1 where they went down by 7, they're now up by 24.
Yeah, unreal. I didn't even, see that formulating the way the race was going. India looked like they were doing fine. They had the blue lap 3, which maybe it was dodged. Maybe I think it was Chi had an extra shroom in first after he took rock lap 2, but they just didn't have anything to get up there. And again, a shockless race. Or maybe
That
England
is
was holding it till the
very-
line.
Very, very hype for England right there. You got to assume that top 4 energy and that sort of vibe in the call carries on to the rest of this match. I mean, like, when you get a top 4 on race 2, you're thinking about that the whole time, right? You're cruising off of that energy, the calls popping and stuff like that. So, I mean, you got to assume that England's just going to want to try and snowball right here.
Yeah, they're in prime position to start building this lead, put this match out of reach, over the next few races. This is a really important spot in the war already, thanks to that top 4. And
Yeah.
I will say India, I could consider them to be sort of a volatile team. I've played a lot with Ornan myself, and he's one of those people that he has a lot of ideas. He's an ideas guy, and when his ideas are hitting, it's great. Like the synergy that he has with people when he's clicking is really, really strong. But I could see them kind of falling apart and trying to do too much if they get desperate playing from behind. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Ornan is one of the most, smartest guys to ever play this game. He definitely shaped the game's meta a lot. And,
That's
you
what
know,
people have been saying.
yeah, but I mean, I think that when he's sort of the main IGL of this India team, then they really have been able to do super well. But it's just super hard when he's not able to get those ideas to really come out and sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of marinate in the way that he wants them to.
Yeah, we'll see. Either way, they have a lot of time. Gardens is a nice, relief for India. You definitely don't want to be starting Toad's Factory in bottom 4. I mean, anybody who's watched Mario Kart knows how difficult that can be to overcome. Gardens being one of the most popular reset tracks nowadays will be totally fine for England, and or for India, I should say.
Emil with a star in 8th place right now. I mean, that is pretty huge because he has a lot of options on Peach Gardens. He could opt to maybe star one of the baggers if they have shock, or maybe use it to take the cut and chain it, which it does look like he's going to do. Meanwhile, Fred, get this mega. That is absolutely huge. I mean, you can't really imagine that England has a lot of dodges right now. So
Yeah, and one of the baggers just jumped off with Bill, so that bagging battle that was neck and neck is now being dominated once again by Fear, which probably explains why Fred opted to go around cut with his mega, lining up a lap 3 dodge. And they are 1-3 as well. Chi with a lot of space in first, so we could see them playing to kind of keep Chi's first and then dodge people up at the end. We'll see how they opt to play this. But pretty good seat for England right now.
ouch! Oh man, that Nana on the stairs is gonna make him burn a shroom. So now he only has 2 shrooms or 1 shroom in 2nd place. So it's gonna be hard for him to contest Chi up here. He may want to try and shroom up just so that he can get neck and neck with him and try and hit him with an item. That does look like
here
it's
it
going to
comes.
be what he does, yeah.
This is going to be a really important interaction here. Chi's still in good position. Goes for the second
Baits the
back.
back
doesn't
green,
hit.
yeah.
Stuff from a mill, but I don't think he has any way of beating him right here. unless he gets a red and throws it at the perfect time.
Target
Oh, he pulls
POW
a red
comes
when the POW
out.
came. I don't know if he's gonna be able to hit. And there's the shock from England finally.
Mm-hmm.
Fred doesn't actually dodge. He uses Mega at the start of the lap, but let's see if they gain more spots. Maybe Xander's on the come up right now.
Looks like
Yeah, there
Zach
he
and
is, there he
Xander.
is.
Yep. Zach, Xander,
Strong
and Fred. That looks like
race.
1, 3, 4, 5 for England. Again, a very strong race by them, and they are just expanding on this lead that they created on GV.
Yeah, and that race was a combination of, you know, being in the front, pulling the shock, and then it's also worth noting on a track like Gardens, the earlier you pull shock, the easier it is to kind of plan your race around it. Xander's definitely someone who's like really, really aware of how the pack works and, you know, how to do his part in the race, and I was almost sure that we'd see him coming up at the end thanks to that shock, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. So far, a really amazing showing by England. They're top 4 in the room right now. What do you think is the response that India has to cook up?
I mean, I know we've been hyping up Fear a lot throughout the past, you know, couple batches that they've played, but India has not pulled a shock yet, and India, while they do have really good runners, you know, we talked about how there might be a difference between Under, and we were even talking about Jazz, but Fear just looks like he has the edge right now, and that's something that sometimes it comes down to luck. You know, I doubt that Under's throwing these races away, making mistakes, but I don't know. They just kind of need a little bit more. It's hard to really say what the answer is right now.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. England already with 111 points going into this race 4. I mean, it's sort of a given that they're going to win this GP, but if you're India, then you kind of have to think to yourself, well, there's at least 5 more GPs to go. So really have got to sort of claw back right now and hopefully get your track pick in Sherbet land. Does look like they're going to get it. So this is kind of the race where they need Under to step up, get the shock. They need to get the dodges. They need Emil to contest for the 8th place boxes or something like that, like he's been doing on the previous races, and really just try to get something cooked up here.
Yeah, slow start, still plenty of time, like you said, to bring it back. And it is a best of 3 wars. So even if they do continue this bad streak and drop this one, they are going to have chances later.
He gets the red off on Chi, so now he's going to be up in the top here, but it does look like Jaker's going to be golding up along with another England player. So now it's kind of like a 2v2 up in the front here, and we see this happen a lot on Sherbet land, where we see like a 2v2 happen in the top 4, and it just comes down to who's going to be able to get the best items and hit the best people.
TC, and he accidentally passes to his teammate behind him. That's pretty unfortunate, and Xander gets a back on Jake there too, so this is looking really bad for India already, actually. England in a strong top 2. Zach's going to be doing some schlag work, some backing on Emil, and it's going to be really hard for them to overtake these top spots.
Yeah, just one fib back or one green shell back or green shell forward now that he's in second. Something like that is going to be detrimental to Emil winning this race, since, you know, he's a daisy player in a world full of funkies. So it's going to be really difficult for him to cook anything up when it comes to schlagging or bumping.
Yeah, Jake kind of stepping in, though. I think he just goldened all the way up to first, which is actually huge. The pack wasn't even that close, but I guess he had a golden in a high enough spot, and he's just barely ahead of Xander, which could make all the difference here. You know, at the high level of play, just having that tiny little edge and being ahead of your opponent can make
evades the TC quite nicely, but it's going to cost him some time as he gets a single red in 5th place, but the triple shroom's right there to support him. Fred is shrooming up right now, and it looks like one of the baggers is kind of gone in 10th right now.
Yeah, other bagger I think is going forwards. I think we see them sitting on the right side of the rock, probably holding shock in that case.
Yeah, I think it looks like Fear has the shot, and he gets Zach into boxes, and Fred is going to dodge up in a mega. So now he's going to be able to shock red Ornan. Oh my goodness, this is looking like a really good race by England.
Yeah, let's see. He's going to be able to pass picks here. Xander should leave him a box, and they're going to be top 2. And India's going to have no items behind them to really contest this right now. So England is on their way to another massive race.
Yeah, the whole story right here has just been the shock so far, as we see England in the top 3, it looks like. It looks like one of the Indian players actually streaming up right now, but is that top 4?
I think that's another top 4.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Nobody saw this coming at all.
Yeah, I mean, these are 2 teams that are really evenly matched up against each other, and I think it's worth it to say that England is actually the 4 seed and India is the number 1 seed here, so getting 2 top 4s in 1 GP for England is absolutely astonishing. We never see that in this level of play.
Yeah, really just an explosive start from England, kind of out of nowhere. Again, shock's making a huge difference as having shock at Sherbet is so powerful, especially when you're already first. Like I said, Xander holding down top spots just consistently throughout that GP, and man, India have a big mountain to climb already. This is dangerous.
Oh yeah, very very uphill battle for India right here as they now go down by I think that's like near 68 points. Just
Jeez.
over GP1 alone.
Yeah, and because they are playing 12 race GP rather than playing 4 at a time, they have to start in bottom 4 again.
Yeah.
So they're running out of reset tracks already, to be honest. At least the ones that they like. We played GB, we played Gardens, we played Sherbet.
Looks like we're seeing RMC, which is a bit of an unusual pick. I don't know if that was just a one-off by Emil. It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're all going RMC right now. So that's a bit unconventional. However, I do think that on RMC, you kind of have the best chance of maybe cheesing out a Bill or something like that, or cheesing out a Shock in 9th and being able to get up in the front spots. But we'll see what it picks here. This is a very pivotal juncture. It does look like it's going to go India's pick at RMC. And so now England is kind of have to fight from disadvantaged spots at top 4.
Yeah, the thing about these reset tracks is that running isn't as powerful because of a number of factors, but one of those factors is the shock, and if England keeps pulling the shocks, and they're going to have a big advantage on these tracks with a lot of shortcuts anyway. So
of course, yeah.
We'll see what the answer is from India.
Yeah, so this triple red is going to be absolutely huge for Emil P because he's going to be able to schlag some England players. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get any of them, though. And now we do see, at least Zach is back here able to contest for a dodge, but that may actually be a blessing in disguise since maybe Zach is going to be able to get a star or something like that, or some other players in bottom 3 are going to be able to get dodges. And then if Fear gets the shock like he's been doing so far, then this might actually end up being a good race for England, which is the opposite of what India needs right now, obviously.
Yeah, we saw Pick stopping for the box in 8th, Emil reading him on accident, and it looks like Fear is winning the bagging battle by a hair once again. I saw Under got hit by something on the minimap around this turn. I don't know if I don't think he got starred. It might have been just like an item on the ground, but either way, Fear with a big advantage right now, getting those 10th place boxes.
Yeah, this bomb might actually be crucial since he might be able to hit one of the England players. We do see the blue coming out right now, and that is absolutely so big because it's going to get India out of the top spots. And on Fred's perspective right now, we do see that there are, couple of mixed spots up there. We do see a couple of English players and we do see a couple of India players, but it all comes down to the shock that's coming hopefully very soon for one of these teams.
Yeah, Ornan's been hustling all race. He's in first right now. We'll see if it changes. There's a star being used by someone in the back.
Pow is so big.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see what the call is. It's gonna be a weird spot. Fred gets hit out. Oh, but a massive bump into the banana. Xander in a star at the last second, but still no shock being used, so England didn't have it, at least. And Emil's gonna maybe get one spot off this golden. Yeah,
I think so, yeah. That is an absolutely huge bump. I mean, he threw him to the other side of the track. That is super big, and that's also a disadvantage if you're on Daisy, and I think that both of the Daisy players in this room realize that they're just gonna have to fight around these funkies bumping them around all the time. And when you think about how a lot of these players are from various different regions across the world, and the lag is going to be very volatile as a result, it's entirely possible that we may see a lot of races come down to crucial bumps on the Daisy players.
Yeah, wow, 1-3-5-7 for England. I mean, I don't know what to say. I really just didn't expect them to have this strong of a start. Zach scoring big points. He's been amazing this World Cup thus far.
Yeah, I mean, if you're England right now, it's sort of possible that from here on out you just sort of take it slow and really don't try to go for like the 160-point blowout. Even though it looks good on the resume, you kind of just want to play a little bit safer, let India take all the risky plays and stuff like that. Because now you're up by 71 going not even race 6 at this point. So we're not even really at the halftime mark.
Yeah, no, this is looking ugly. I mean, India, they have to like dig deep and just kind of reset themselves as a team because it's really easy to have this match, affect them going forward. I know from experience, losing match 1 of a best of 3, especially when it's over this early, can kind of put a damper on, how good the team vibes are and how well everybody is kind of clicking together. So
Yeah.
tough
I mean,
spot
I
for
wish
India.
that we had a statistic for it, but a lot of teams that go down 0-1 in this World Cup tournament, and even in places like GSC as well, usually don't come back. They usually just go down in either a sweep or they take game 2, but end up losing match 3 because it's very, very, very important that you win the match. You win the first match, since obviously you go up 1-0. You only need to play 12 more races, and then you win the whole thing. So if India goes down here, they're gonna not have a lot of answers for match 2 or match 3, and they might have to play a little bit more risky in those matches too.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what Emil P can do. He hasn't really been in the front too much. It's something that I think India has been missing, which I didn't really expect. Jake's trying to put in some work here. A bomb to free up some space. But they both get hit by the same green.
Yeah.
And this is so bad. There's the back bomb. It's going to take out 2 more India players.
Yeah. This is looking ugly so far. See a bit of a matrix slowdown on Fred's POV. Whole game is slowing down right now. And we do see that there are a lot of England players, again, up in this top 3. I mean, there have just been not a lot of frontal presence from India here, and you would have expected maybe some guy like Jake or Ornan or something like that to be up here.
Yeah, I mean, they had their chance. They were 2-3 at the moving set, and then they just didn't see that early back green from Xander coming, and they both got hit by the same one, which led to them getting bombed, and England is taking every inch right now in the front. They're just making slightly better plays and getting a lot of value out of them too, so we should expect this top 2 or top 3 to hold for quite some time.
Well, it does look like Pix is in second place right now, so that's going to be absolutely pivotal. Actually, no, third place. My fault. But it does seem like England has a big lead here. Fred hitting the wall in first. Maybe that might have been tactical for Chi to have a Shroom in 1, but it does look like both of them are going to get T-Powed. Even so, I mean, that might just be too much of a time loss right there, because now you've got Pix right there in sniping range, maybe able to hit you or maybe able to bump you off with a Shroom or something like that.
Yeah, big blunder from Fred, losing that top 2, and even if Chi did have a Shroom, the POW came in immediately, so that option's off the table too. Let's see.
Yeah.
Picks with a lot of responsibility here to keep this race under wraps not under wraps, but keep it winnable for India, because if he gets hit out, then the top 2 is just pretty much going to be smooth sailing once again.
And we do see that Fear doesn't have the shock right now, but Emil P does have the bill. So that is absolutely just a huge thing to watch out for if you're England. He does look like he's going to get in the bill right now, and this is going to take him all the way up to second place. He dodges all the way at the grass item set.
Yeah, really late shock for India. They got the full length out of that bill. I mean, regardless, Emil P's winning the race, but somehow Pix managed to get into first before that all happened. Like I was saying, he had a big job to do, and he just completely won out somehow. So maybe India could get the spark that they need to start bringing this war back if they can hold this winning race.
Looks like this is going to be at least top 2, maybe even a top 3. Looks like
Fred's going for rail in third.
It looks like he makes it, so that's going to be top 2-4 for India.
Yeah, so India, signs of life. They finally got a shock that they needed, and I think that will give them the confidence going forward to maybe put some more winning races together. And finally starting in top spots as well could be a big help for them, but with that said, they're still down, 60 or so, 50 or so points. So let's not get our hopes up too high.
Yeah, I mean, they still have an uphill battle to climb, but they're about 10% of the way up the mountain right now. Having a 60-point deficit, a lot better than having a 70 or 80-point deficit, maybe even a 90-point deficit if England was able to win that race. They're still top 4 in the room, and they still have kind of got to pick a track here that they definitely know that they can get top spots on. Maybe something like DKM, which I've seen a lot from this India team. They're very, very good at it. Maybe one of the best DKM teams in the whole bracket stage right now. So I think that might be one of the tracks that we see from them, or maybe something like a TF, yeah, so that they could draft the 4th place could draft the 1st place.
Yeah, we've seen that time and time again. Also worth noting that England didn't get their running tracks that first GP when they were getting their top 4s and whatnot, so they're still out there on the table for India, which is going to make this comeback a little bit more possible. as those are really strong to string good races together.
Yeah. So I mean, it looks like it's going to be DS Delfino Square though. So that's a huge pick for England, since obviously it's going to be hard to contest the India players that are in top 2-4 on TF. So now we see that England is kind of getting their track picks, they're getting their shocks, and they're getting their players up in the front. So this is a recipe for them to potentially hold down to this lead. They can afford to get like a -15 race or a -20 race like they just got, but not many more after that. They're gonna have to sort of stop the bleeding while it's early.
Yeah, we're already seeing Emil letting picks go by, which is a little strange. I guess he must have drafted and called it out. Either way, top 2 going into this dock section. He's lagging a little bit. I don't know what happened. We'll see if he ended up backing that fib or not.
Doesn't look like it.
Ornan taking double early on. He's going to be the first one out of cut by a decent amount there. So India looking like they're going to be in the front for a lot of this race. England bottom 2. Still anyone's game.
And this golden from Fred is absolutely huge, since obviously everybody knows the double cut, which requires 2 shrooms, but he can actually use this golden wisely and end up on the other side of the mud cut, getting an item box in like 2nd or 3rd place to try and hit out one of the India players that are up there right now.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of dropping on England's side right here. This TC could be huge, destroying the plan that he had
gets it to
get
him
up
late.
there.
And
he gives it off to his teammate, but he loses so much time in the process. Luckily for them, Chi did have a star to cancel it out. He's got to watch out. Bumping Xander could be a problem here.
Looks like he's going to make it out alive, but it's still a lot of India players up in this front. At least 2-3 right now. You've got to assume that they might even be top 3 or something like that. So it's going to be down to who's able to pull the triple shrooms in 4th or 5th place here for England if they want to have a chance at winning this race and, again, stop the bleeding while it's early.
Yeah, it is top 2 for England, and I don't think this shroom from Fred is going to be really enough to break the plane up there, unless maybe they have a shock to go with it that they could use afterwards, but not a lot going for them right now. And it looks like Jake might even have a shroom up there as he took right path, which is usually what people do. Yeah, he's probably going to be taking cut in first and winning this race. We'll see. Fred's going to be on Emil's tail coming out of the cut.
Oh, yeah, this could be really pivotal here. This shock red is absolutely huge. And, I mean,
that's really unfortunate. Xander was trying to shock red Emil in 2nd, but Fred came out of cut and the red went for him instead. But the red still hits Emil on the last turn.
This is 2-3-4, or at least 2-3-5 for England right now, and that race just turned upside down with that one red at the line.
Yeah, I thought Fred getting redded was going to ruin any chance he had at taking out the top 2, but that last red just went the distance there. I mean, that's just a wide open section, and Emil was small too, so he was a sitting duck. And that red went all the way to get him. So really unfortunate for India, because it seemed like they deserved a better race out of that.
We did see Pick shroom up into 4th place, so it's not the worst thing in the world for India. They're going to get 1-4 bottom 2. However, I mean, they just had it in the bag that whole race. Top 2 or top 3 it looked like for a lot of that. We saw Jake taking the cut in 1st place, sort of just chilling, relaxing on his own. And Emil was just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think that was maybe like a +1 for India, since Pix actually managed to get 3rd, but either way, a lot of missed points, unfortunately for India, which would have just brought this a little bit closer. So tough stuff. Yeah. And again, that's another England shock, I'm pretty sure. Shock count is really lopsided right now, which has been, I mean, at least from our perspective, a huge determining factor.
Yeah, I mean, England has just been doing a phenomenal job in the bagging department, and both these tracks that both these teams are picking right now are very, very skill and tech heavy tracks in the bagging department. So we may actually see Fear be in 10th for this race, just because of how well he's been playing and how skillful he is executing all the strats.
Yeah, this is a track that teams love to pick for 2nd place, just because there's that weird wheelie strat you can do from 2nd where sometimes you get ahead of the other guy, but I mean, so much can happen that it's going to come down to who gets up there with shrooms and who drives well enough to get the most out of their spots. Right away, 2 India players getting hit out.
I mean, Emil with his triple shrooms in 8th, that's not going to do him a lot of favors. Obviously, he's going to opt to chain all of them at once.
Yeah,
but the bill in 8th is so big. That's so huge.
This is why we see Emil pulling so many bills. He's just cycling boxes race after race. And We'll see if it helps. It basically just increases the chance that whatever bagger's in 10th pulls shock. So if that's under, then that's really good for them. But if it's fear, then England's gonna be getting another shock on the board.
Yeah,
And it's close. It is close right now.
it is really, really close in that bagging battle. And it's really close up in the front here, too. I mean, Fred is one of the better runners at this track. So, I mean, we have to assume that he's probably going to be able to do turn skip and other strats like that in first place and just expand on his lead even further. We do see an India player coming up right now. The fib won't go. And now Jake is in first place, and it's going to be really hard to get him out of there, except in the case of a blue or a target power, something like that.
Oh, kind of an ugly turn skip from Fred. Not what I was expecting. And he doesn't trick on the ramp, so he actually loses his shroom. And Jake dodges the POW, so there's a chance that Jake could even have another shroom in first. As that was a box he definitely could have gotten in a mid spot. Because I'm pretty sure there was a blue at the start of this lap. So we'll see. Some nanas everywhere. I don't know if Jake backed that or not, but if he has a stream, that's pretty much a guaranteed 15 points for India.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to either opt to take the cut if they're holding the blue. Looks like he's going to be able to do that.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, it's going to be insanely difficult to get him out of first place now, except maybe in the case of a target shock.
Yes, could save them. We'll see.
Yeah, good turn skip by Fred. That's going to have him get a little bit of time, but I think you don't even go for the turn skip or the target shock.
See, he's going on the edge, but he just kind of goes forward anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. That kind of seemed counterintuitive there, but it looks like he might be able to gain a spot or two afterwards, maybe?
No, I don't think he does. I think he got 6th or 7th there, yeah.
Yeah. Conceptually, that didn't really make a lot of sense from Fred, because usually the point of going on the side is to stop, and then they think that you have to go forwards once you start going up the ramp, but he kind of just held A and got shocked off anyway. I think maybe he didn't want to slow down there because he had a teammate right behind him and he didn't want them to both get TS'd, but at the same time, at that point, you might as well just hold A and have only one of you get hit.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked for him to hit the wall right at the edge there, since I think it would have been difficult for India to really realize that he was slowing down like that. But yeah, I don't really like that execution from Fred. However, it's still a good race for England, all things considered. I mean, like I said, you kind of don't really need a lot of these big races so far. So that 2-3 bottom 2 is fine. But if you get enough of those, then, hey, India might be in striking range.
Yeah, it was tricky. And also, worth noting, Emil P did pull a TC, I think in 4th lap 3, which kind of made that race a lot worse for India, because he would have been, I think, really close to them by the end, because he had shrooms. We could see on our other POV, but yeah, either way, England keeping their lead pretty much the same. And that's an India shock where they really didn't get a whole lot of value out of it. But another thing to note, the pack was so spread out, they didn't really have a dodge in a high spot or anything. So they didn't gain too many points.
Koopa Cape is an absolutely huge pick right now. We still see that they're down by about 57 at this point, it looks like, 56. The window is closing. I mean, India kind of needs a race like England got on GV or something like that, a top 4 or something of that nature, maybe in top 3-6 or something like that, just to have a fighting chance at being able to take this match home. A lot of schlag work from Zach here. Doesn't look like it's going to affect Emil, though. He's going to be able to shroom up into these top spots. And we do see India in really good spots right now. It looks like top 4. So they may be able to hold on to this for maybe not the whole race, but for a while.
Yeah, I'm not sure how Pix got that far ahead. There's definitely some shenanigans going on at the start. It looks like a few people must have gotten hit out. A crazy bomb! Bomb.
Wow!
Dude, that was one of those Edison bombs where you throw it before the pipe and it lands on the turn. That's what that looks like to get hit by it. That was insane.
My goodness gracious!
That is so hard to hit.
Yeah. Wow.
That is so hard to hit.
I've never seen a bomb like that just sort of hit so well. I mean, it bounced off of all the walls and stuff like that. An amazing play by one of the England players.
Yeah, he had absolutely no time to react to that. And there's also a difference doing that like in emoji, on like against someone where it doesn't really matter, but on the stage like this, like that is an absolutely huge play because they were gone top 2, right? He gets bombed, pulls a TC, and now he's back in 7th.
Amazing
and another
play,
one.
and he gets another TC. Wow.
And does he get the pass the second time? Still no. And he just kind of gives it up. That is so
Yeah.
unfortunate for Emil P.
And in the span of one lap, I mean, we got to remember that he was at that sort of green shell inside of the section right here just a lap ago. He went all the way from 2nd to 8th thanks to that bomb.
Yeah, meanwhile, Fred with the bill could be really important for England. I think India's still first. I haven't seen anything happen to Pix unless I missed a blue or something.
Yeah.
This bill's going to last a while, but with no shock, he's not going to be able to get all the way up into the front, and he could definitely get redded here by Jake.
So, I mean, we do see Pix with a huge break in first place, but England with this 2-3, they kind of just need to hold on to spots like that. I'm not sure who it was that just shroomed. It looks like it was an England player, and Fred's going to get triple shrooms in 4th, so that is pretty huge. I mean, it's not impossible for India to still win this race. We do see a couple of the players back in 5, 6, 7, 8. However, it's going to be hard. It's going to be real hard this last turn.
Yeah, so much space in between them. Oh my god! He scared me so badly right there. I don't know what he was going for, but
I've
Jeez.
seen that. I've seen that before as an alternative to the Mander strat, but
Yeah,
it's
you can
very
trick
scary
off the
looking.
rock and
Yeah.
bounce back, but usually people don't do it like that. Fred almost just sold. But
Wow.
they hold 2, 3, 4, and really good stuff from England. I mean, that bomb made so much of a difference that race.
Yeah.
The difference between them holding that top 2 the whole time and England working their way up into everything behind Pix is just insane.
So 2, 3, 4 last for England right now. And I guess if we just sort of look at the box score for a second, we do see that the man of the match so far is Xander and Zach and Chi. I mean, all of them are really close to each other in score, only separated by about 4 points. So it's a whole team effort by this England squad who are all top 4 in Indivs right now. It's not really looking like one guy is really breaking away and making all the sick plays. They're just playing with so much synergy and so much meshing well with each other together. It's absolutely amazing stuff that we're seeing from England today.
Yeah, and like you said, they're just holding that lead. That's another relatively even race, which is going to favorite England as we get closer to the end of the war. India running out of time here, and if England's hitting plays like that, I don't know what they can do.
Oh, yeah.
That's nuts. I would love to see what that looked like from the other perspective.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's entirely possible that England sort of cruises like they've been doing these past few races and takes this match 1 home, and that sort of turns the whole war upside down. I mean, we did see, it's important to point out that England went down in a blowout in match 1 versus Team Japan, and then ended up coming back in the final 2 matches. So it's entirely possible that India could do the same.
Yeah, they need big races from here on out. BC3, definitely a track known for having big races, as there's so much that can go wrong for your team. But yeah, it's going to come down to mostly cut on lap 1 is going to be a really telling factor as to how this race is going to go. And Fred messing up early is that's a really strange thing to do. And
Yeah.
Not good for England whatsoever. Yeah, there's a couple, it might be India in top 2, which means that one of them could, hopefully for them, be taking Ultra uncontested. We'll see if that works out. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, what we're gonna see here. I'm really just sort of.
There it is.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, it was Emil and Jake in top 2, and I think they managed to keep their top 2 with Emil taking regular cut, and I think Jake actually did manage to get away with taking Ultra in first. So top 2-4 for India. Really strong start.
Yeah,
And now
so
they
top
have all of the they have the upper hand, right? They can block cut first, they can take cut uncontested.
I think it's going to be entirely possible that Emil's going to block the cut here. Oh, did he throw it forward? I think he threw it forward. I'm not sure if he blocked it.
Yeah, either way, Fred with a TC is going to make this really hard to bring back. He's going for TC Ultra, but he gives it to his teammate. Oh no, this is a disaster for England. Chi's not going to be able to make it.
I think he TS'd him, yeah.
Yeah, Fred does make it luckily. So England, honestly, 3-4 at this stage in the game would be a pretty strong race. To make this comeback harder. But we'll see. Pack is spread out as always.
Oh, yeah, we see that all the time on BC3. We just see so many players just flying away in the top 4, and then bottom 4 has to sort of fight for themselves. However, it's a mix of India and England in the top 4, so maybe like an ultra from Fred or something like that could really change things. This target POW might be absolutely pivotal too. We do see that it kind of gets him a little bit late at the TS.
Yeah, Fred getting TS, going for Ultra. Xander looks like he went around. I don't know. I don't think he dodged, but Pix did. So India is improving their race right now. The Pix gets hit.
Yeah. Ornan takes the cut in 4th. That's huge.
And a massive golden for Fred. He's going to dodge the red, gain a lot of space right here. Might be able to just get 4th off of this straight up. And like I said, 3-4 is kind of a win for England.
Yeah.
Oh, but Jake in the start.
Oh,
On the
wow.
last straight. It's top 4 for
goodness.
India.
That's top 4. That changes the whole dynamic of the war.
Crazy clutch. India pulls the shock, under drops the star for Jake in 2nd, and that last straightaway is just so lethal because you have to go the whole time without getting hit. You lose so much time slowing down, and Jake clutches up.
Yeah, what a
India
phenomenal
kind of hacked
schlag
it.
by Jaker.
That's like half of the deficit, right? They were down
Yeah.
like 60 or
Wow.
so. Oh.
Okay, strap in, folks, because things are changing up right now. I mean, you can sense it in our voices. Things are getting a little bit louder. Things are getting a bit rowdy here as we do see India top 4 that race, and now they're only down by 30, which, I mean, still seems like a lot of points, but they did just make up half of that deficit, like you just said, Torp. So, I mean, wow. You don't see that very often.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying cut on lap 1 was going to be a big factor, and with Fred hitting that wall, it's so weird to look back at such a tiny mistake like that, but you have to imagine that if he doesn't hit the wall, maybe he can contest Jake on Ultra, he doesn't get to take it for free, maybe he gets to block cut before Emil Shrooms, and India just kind of destroyed them that race because of how good the lap 1 was. And obviously the clutch plays at the end.
Yeah, so now this track pick is absolutely pivotal. Chi obviously is a Daisy player, and they are taking that into account when they pick BC Wii, but Emil P is one of the most consistent glitch takers in the whole game, so if it's able to pick India with BC Wii in top 4, their top 4 is going to be able to backspam all of the bottom 4 players of England, and then it comes down to kind of, is Fear able to get the shock? Are they able to have that as sort of a counter response if you're England? Or is Under going to be able to stay in 10th a lot of the time and prevent them from doing that? We do see MC3 though, so that kind of is the caster's curse, but MC3 is a very, very huge track pick right here for England, since now it's hard to hold on to your top 4 on this track. Yeah, I'll just say that much.
Yeah, this whole war we've seen teams starting in top spots not able to get their running track that they wanted so desperately, and that kind of sucks if you're India. It feels like you worked really hard for that top 4, and it's kind of all gonna go to waste here on MC3 unless they run this really well. We'll see. And yeah, there comes England into 1-3 already, so
Yeah.
can't really capitalize on the spots at all. And she's gone. He had triple shrooms. He might just win the race off of that.
Yeah, I mean, that triple shrooms for Chi is a pretty big deal, since now it's going to be hard. Even if you snipe him, he's just going to be able to shroom away and foster up even a bigger break. So we do see Fred on the other POV. He is in 6th place right now, sort of in the mid-pack.
Oh, wait, he could get
back
redded here,
on-
maybe.
Yeah.
I would have maybe liked to see him go for the side red on this turn. But
yeah.
you never know. There's a POW. Could have been an India POW, target POWing, Xander taking cut. He lost a lot of time there. Really hard
Looks
to
like,
see what's going on behind Emil right now.
And it looks like one of the baggers is billing. So you'd have to assume that looks like Fear. Nobody has the shock right now, since both the baggers are shrooming or in a bill. The blue is so big, he gets him in the blue.
And now what is going on? Emil kind of stuck with POW right now.
What is he able to do? Yeah.
And they don't call the target POW on Fred in first. Here's the POW.
And there's the shock. Emil P dodging up on the other perspective right now. He has triple shrooms in 3rd place, 4th place. He's going to be able to at least take, it looks like, 2nd though. Oh, but that looks like a 1-3, maybe even 1-3-5 or 1-3-6 for England.
Yeah, one player on each team dodging in those stars, and honestly, really, really fortunate for Emil to pull a star after that. We saw him get caught in the blue, pull POW, use just kind of a random POW to get another box and pull a star, and I think maybe that was in 7th right there. I think England's gonna maybe put the match out of reach with that.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether the deficit is big enough to where maybe they could try an all run on GV2 or something like that, or maybe try for a top 4-9. I'm not really sure, but we have seen before in situations like these, teams just sort of go down and not come down swinging. We may see like a top 3 next race, but I don't think it's gonna be enough. I think they need to top 4-9 or all run.
That's 29 points, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting because a top 4-10 will tie the war. Top 4-9 can win it at this point. So they don't have to all run per se, although they still could choose to do that, I guess, if they want to.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a safer bet to sort of all run on a short track like GV2 or something like
I
that.
guess it does depend on the track, because if England gets DK Mountain, you can't all run there. There's just no way that you win by all running. But maybe if
Well, I
it was
mean-
like Beach or GV2 or something. But DKM
We
is just
did
way
see-
too long. It has the cannon, you know.
A couple of years ago, that top 4-8 in that
Yeah.
famous CB versus AV match. So
There's a reason why that's like one of the most famous matches of all time. That should never happen. If it's Moo Moo
Yeah.
Meadows, no, yeah, DKM. So we're gonna see them bagging, of course.
maybe we still don't know. They may try
They're
to pull
bagging.
off
Yeah, they're bagging.
okay. Yeah, let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. But yeah, so it's going to be really coming down to can England just get at least one of the top 4? Because that's all that they need in order to win this race. Just one guy
Yeah.
up in the top 4 spots.
Emil getting trailed early on. He was trying to play aggressive, get into first, maybe keep his red in a top spot up there, which could be really huge later on, but doesn't work. Wait, no, under it, they're running.
They're running. Yeah, they're
They're
running.
all running.
Oh, okay.
I just saw under going forward.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
our
just saw the
score
mini
is
map
slightly
too.
off. Maybe there's a penalty we missed, or the bagger points are wrong. But they're going for the all run on DK Mountain, which is virtually impossible because
Yeah.
if you're getting boxes in 10th all race, you know it's a 2.5 minute track most of the time, and there's a cannon, and they have the blue. So, or no, that's India with the blue.
India with the blue. It looks like they're going to opt to use it after the cannon. So I'm not really sure what they were thinking because Under is kind of like away from the whole, pack right now. I mean, he started to go backwards, but then ended up going forwards. I'm not too sure what his mentality or thinking is there.
Yeah, I don't know what the score is, what the situation with Shock is right now, but Jake is cooking. I do know that for sure.
Yeah.
India has
He's
moved
definitely in
into
the kitchen right now.
top 2, top 3 maybe. And with blue, this is going to hold for a while, as Emil shouldn't have anything to worry about, considering that he can gain some time on these turns and put some distance between himself and some other people, ideally.
Mhm.
Let's see, Zach is kind
Yeah.
of close. He could get ready.
Zach
He
is
might have
pretty
used the
close.
wall. Oh, he messed it up. He was trying to get behind the fence and dodge the red, but it's only first. Under with the TC, that's not going to make it to the cannon. No shot. And if England have Shock here, wait. Oh, this is so sad.
That's so tragic. Yeah, that is maybe GG's right there. The fact
Yeah.
that they weren't able to hold on to that blue.
Weird late Shock.
Whoa. Okay.
That was strange. That was really strange. It dodged a few people. Now maybe
little
Xander has
confusing.
Bill. If Xander has Bill and he's like, okay, we just dodge me and I win. I don't know. But Emil's going for glitch. Maybe this is the clutch that they need. Oh, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be.
Yeah, it wasn't in the
Yeah.
script. Yeah.
Wonder's back here. Ornan's back here. That's gonna be a wrap. I think.
Valiant effort by India during this match. It does look like they're gonna get. Oh, is that like 5 through 9? I think
It was not. It was not ideal.
Yeah,
England might have got bottom
some
two,
of
but
them was
either way, it wasn't meant to be that race. We're not gonna see another, miracle ending. England
It looks
takes
like
it.
though, yeah, it's coming home for this first match as we do see England pull off the upset win over the number 1 seeded India. That's their first loss since I think one of their first losses of the entire bracket stage and the entire switch stage. We
Yeah.
have to check whether or not they've lost a war before, but they definitely have not lost a match, obviously, since they're this far advanced. So things are switching up here a lot.
Yeah, India tastes defeat for the first time, and if you look at the individual scores in England, they all scored in the 90s. All 4 of them were like super close together, which just speaks to how well-rounded and just balanced this team is. Everybody doing their part, and now they're going into match 2 with some momentum. They're going to be hosting, and they just need one more to put it away and take that coveted spot in the grand finals.
Yeah, well, when we return back, I'm going to be switching out. Mac is going to be coming in for me. So I hope you all enjoy his commentary. I've had a really fun time today casting with you, Torp. Thank you so much to our stream host, Fusion. And thank you so much to everybody in chat for just participating along and rooting for whoever team you wanted to win. But when we come back, we see England taking the first match, and maybe they'll be able to sweep India. Maybe it'll go to a match 3. You never know. So thank you guys so much for having me on, and we'll be right back.
All right, are we back? I think we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to match 2 of this best of 3 series. In case you guys are just tuning in or you took a break and missed it, England held their lead. They won match 1 by 44 points, and they're looking to take this in a quick 2-0 to move to the grand finals. This is Torp once again, and I'm joined by our new commentator. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Folks, how we doing today? I'm Mac, on the cast here with my good friend Torp. That was a pretty good match, match 1, right there.
Yes, sir. We saw a really unexpected hot start by England. You know, the 2 top 4s in a row or something like that. A huge lead, which kind of, deteriorated slightly over time, but it was big enough to hold out. And, yeah. What do you think's gonna be the story this time?
I think we're gonna probably be seeing about the same thing. I don't know if England's going to be getting off to as hot of a start as they did last match, but both these teams have had a really strong showing in this tournament. England, the preliminary 1 seed, India, the bracket 1 seed. Both these teams showing up, have done a lot of practicing, probably some of the most scrims of any team in this tournament. So the comms are there, the chemistry's there. It's really just going to come down to who can perform.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of performing, we've seen England do unexpectedly well thus far, running-wise, bagging-wise. And, shoutouts to Daniel. Shoutouts to my guy.
Oh, what's up, Daniel?
What's up, Daniel? I was a little worried when I saw an 11th you pop up. We know how that goes. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. It's been a while since we had an uninvited guest into the World Cup rooms. Well, we won't talk about it.
But anyway, we're ready to go. Match 2, England looking to keep their momentum, keep the wind in their sails. And it all comes down to this. India has their back against the wall. They got to win 2 straight if they want to take it.
Yeah, India getting served their first loss of the entire tournament. We got the same Pavs. We got Fred and Emil. Same lineups on both sides as well. I kind of liked the decision, and this is no flame, obviously, but I like this lineup that England's using. Luke did a great job in the match before this versus Japan. I think that was a good matchup for him. This India lineup, a lot of Mogi mains, aggressive players, and I think that matches England's lineup a lot better, having Chi, Fred, and Zach in there.
Yeah, I think they're more playmaker heavy. Is that how you would put it? Like, I think
definitely more
they're
aggressive,
better at
yeah.
those tight interactions where they're both scrambling around trying to hit each other when they're scrapping. I feel like that bodes well for the lineup that they have now. So definitely a pretty good call, and it's working so far. You can't complain if it's working.
Starting off on DK Mountain, but we ended off on Last War.
Yeah,
England 1-0 lead, getting started here on Fred's Pav.
Yeah, let's see how they start. That's going to be really important for setting the tone for this match. If you just lose a match, right? I'm sure you've been there, a handful of times.
I've lost plenty of matches.
I've lost plenty of matches too, Everyone has. And the way you bounce back at the beginning is really telling for how the rest of the match is going to go. Sometimes it's like, oh, we're just kind of getting crushed. We can't do anything. This sucks. And sometimes it's like, yeah, we were better than these guys. We knew it the whole time. And we'll see what India can come up with.
Yeah, India's just got to mentally reset here. They know what they're capable of. They've had some great scrims with some great teams. Good tournament life for them so far. And they're definitely confident in their skills, as is England. So
Fred's going to town here. Pow and Mega, 2 really powerful items right there. It looks like India makes it out mostly unscathed. They're still in 2-3, and I think they're putting a lot of pressure on first right now. Not sure whether that's Zach or Xander up there, but either way, it is Xander. And does Emil get the first? Yeah, he somehow does. I don't know what, maybe he pulled triple shrooms at the end right there to bring it all the way back, but good stuff for India right now.
Neither bagger sitting at the set. Might be some silly mind games going on. Once again, we have Fear and Under. Fear, England's backup bagger most of the time. Had a good showing last versus Japan.
Yeah, he's had Under.
Earned himself a spot here.
So we'll see if he can keep that up.
Yeah, both these baggers today, a bit of a, not a comeback story, but a rising star story for them in this tournament. Both have gained a lot of clout for their performances so far.
And look at this this pack right now. We got the Daisies just steamrolling everybody in top 2. So that's India in first with a Mil P right here, and Chi in second, obviously.
It looks like only a blue's gonna stop Emil at this point. See if he can back Chi off a bit. It should be a shockless race.
So the action right now is all in the back right now. Let's switch to Fred real quick. See what's going on. Okay, he just got back bombed. He just got back bombed. He's got out of the race. That is quite unfortunate. Emil does win. I don't know if anything's really gonna save Fred at this point, given that
it looks like we're gonna have an England bottom 2, unless that shock helps Zach.
He needs Bill.
It looks like it has.
He's gonna beat picks off of it. And Zach gains a few spots on the line. Yeah, India with a lot of bonus
5-6-8 for India. It's gonna be a winning race for England to start off this match too.
Yeah, England continues to pull shocks and win races, and that's kind of the name of the game out here if you really think about it.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a big swing in this. We saw last match. I don't think India got a shock until like race 6 or something, and England really took advantage, called some good shocks, played some good races, and took a fat lead. And they're taking the lead now.
Yeah, props to Emil for holding it down in first. That was really important for him to get up there, especially on a track like DK Mountain. You know. But
Absolutely.
England's still looking good. Still looking good. And especially, I mean, tracks like DK Mountain, shock is usually, you know, hard to obtain for most of the race. I don't think we saw Bill in play. Yeah. I don't know what to say about it there. You never really know what's going on a track like that.
Just a classic sit track. Sometimes, and these two baggers are from different continents, so the opposing bagger might lag past the set. You can get a box in 10 when that happens. So, kind of unsure what happened there at the very end, but definitely helped Team England for that.
Yeah, we have bagger extraordinaire Mac on the case.
No.
I mean, you're gonna be playing one of these guys potentially if you win your next round. So
yeah,
see, you gotta study up.
Oh, I got all the notes.
He's got the notepad.
I'm taking that. That's why I'm casting right now. So I have to watch. I gotta take notes.
Yeah. All right. Well, Fred gonna try to get all the way over here to the side and snag this box at the start, and he does. Might have gotten an 8th on his screen. Triple shrooms, not too crazy.
A couple of daisies starting in the top on this track. Could be some bump off potential if people can shroom up.
Oh, we're seeing bodies left and right.
Yeah.
Fred sneaks into 4th now. Gonna keep shrooming. Looks like Emil and Chi both survived despite being on Daisy. They must have been throwing their items back and whatnot, which is why we saw all those people getting hit. But still pretty even. I think just a 1-3 for India. But right when I say that, Chi gets taken out. Ornan's up here in the mix. Fred with a lot of weight on his shoulders right now to keep the spot for his team.
Yeah, and you can break away pretty easily on this track. Obviously, the big TS is looming, but if India can break off here, that would be very beneficial for them.
Yeah, Ornan moves on up there. This power is going to slow down Fred a lot. I think, did Ornan maybe get into the air off of it? He did.
I think he's off.
Oh.
Ornan's out of there. We got a 1-3 for England.
Kind of a disaster. I think Emil failed pow dodge in first. I'm not exactly sure how he lost it, but either way, that pow kind of just backfired entirely, and England takes over in a really weird shock.
Looks like it TS'd England's 4th place.
TS 4th place. Emil gets hit again by something I did not see at all.
It's still a 1-4 for England, though. It's not going to change too much.
Yeah, I have to wonder, maybe that was a team using shock because their bagger was already 10th, hoping to get another one, and if that's the case, then it would have been an India shock, but hard to really say for sure. Fred gets a bomb, could be seeing, just a simple back bomb. Might as well. How did he avoid that?
Missing a mill. Looks like he's shrooming up.
Yeah, he just goldened out of the way, and
Jake's dead, though. Pretty neutral race so far, 2-5 for England.
There's a TS.
Another shock.
Looks like nobody actually got TS'd. Yeah. It's another shock at the ramp. But Fred with a chance to make up some ground here. He's going to chain the shroom on the right. And is India still first? They might have lost it. I'm so confused. There's so much happening.
Up there. Fred gets backed. And it's an 8th for him. That's tough. That's a close pack the whole race.
Yeah, that was a
for
close pack.
Warriors gold line. That's pretty surprising. Usually you got a guy getting bumped off at the start or at the tracks, getting trolled even. That's probably the most common track.
Yeah,
for
that does
baggers to
happen a
troll
lot
on.
at the dip.
But wow,
especially.
that's a very, very tight pack for gold mine, especially with two
Yeah,
shots.
I think maybe the front spot slowed down to avoid the TS, which is why we saw nobody getting hit, and then
Yeah.
everybody was just on top of each other, scrambling for spots, and I really have no idea how that ended up, other than Fred getting last.
So let's see. We got a 1-3-5-7 for India. That should give them the lead.
Yeah, honestly, that could have gone any direction at that point in the race. Fortunate for India to tie it back up. We don't want to see... I mean, maybe we do. I'm not going to speak on behalf of everybody, but we don't want to see one team breaking away super early on like last time. You know, I'd love to see a nice back and forth bout.
We want to get the best content possible.
Yeah, of course, of
That's what we're
course.
saying. India almost provided it last match. They had that insane top 4 in BC3.
Yeah, it was looking
Right up back
doable.
within striking distance.
It was looking
I was
doable.
kind of surprised at that. I didn't hear what you guys were talking about, but I was surprised at that decision for them to all run last race. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I was confused. I was thinking maybe we didn't have the score completely correct because of bagger points or maybe like a -5 or something, and then they could have won with all run. I don't really know. Maybe
think-
if we get to interview them, perhaps we'll ask about it. But we'll
I
see.
think
They have to win first.
I think a top 4-10 would have at least tied it for them. I think that's where the score was at.
That's what
top
I
410
saw on our
Top
scoreboard.
4-10
But
plus
again,
29. But yeah, a little surprising because I mean, you get one good cannon shot there, you kind of can break away. But it doesn't matter now. We got Sherbet land. We got a Mills pop back up.
and
he's
he's
off.
off.
And he's out of there.
Yeah, not too big a deal. We're gonna see him farming some more 8th place boxes as he does. He's just sitting for it. Him and Xander. He
Play
actually
by
goes
Xander
first.
here. That probably means that England's gonna be good spots.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you
usually
wouldn't
when
get
your
it that
team
long.
is first, you can afford to kind of sit as long as you want for the bill. There's no real pressure to catch up, but Emil just
speaking
gets
of
it
Bill.
anyway. He just gets it anyway. How does he do it?
See if Xander wants to try to make a play on him. Looks like under is 10, if I read that correctly.
Yeah, it could be big. It is super close though. One of the baggers just got starred by the other.
And Emil
Pretty
Billing
sure.
makes me think that. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say,
Oh,
makes me
that
think
was a
that,
I have shock, we can get 2 moment,
Yeah.
and they just use it right away. And this is a top 3 break now for India, with a good chance of them pulling second shock. So we'll see if they can make this last.
It looks like Fear is in 10th now.
Huh, strange. That's not what I would have expected to happen. Fred's
Fear
back
and
here.
Picks, and someone else is off. Oh, Fred, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, other than those top spots being close, there's a lot of space back here in the packs. We're just going to see people probably catching up for a little bit, pushing the pack closer together until the second shot comes in and decides the race.
Big split between top 5 and bottom 3.
Yeah, bottom 2 for England could be good if they do get the shock. You know, the catch-up potential on this track is huge with the off-road, and you know you can change your stars for something else. Catch up at the end, but still
It's
looks
like
like
England's,
it's mostly
or not
India.
England, India is all middle spots.
Yeah, somehow England got into top 2. That surprises me. I feel like that first shot call maybe was a bit of a waste. You know, looking at the situation we're in now.
Yeah. Zach trying to make a play in under.
Yeah, Mill going for a dodge again, I guess. Kind of a tricky spot for him here. Has to just waste his golden.
Pretty sure I
Fred's
just saw
up there in
Fear
a star.
shrooming. Should be shockless still. Fear's still 10th by quite a bit.
Takes gets hit. There's a shock. No
And
dodges.
there's an India shock, I think.
I think Ornan's into set. Maybe Jake also into set. That could have been what that was for. Emil opts to go tight, hoping the box would respawn, and it doesn't. So 3-4-5, but probably not going to hold up, as at least one person on England has to have shrooms at this point. Maybe not. Last second blue doesn't do anything.
Mrs. Blue's not going to reach.
He takes the TC.
Top 3 for England?
I think so. That might have been a top 3-8.
I'm pretty sure that was an India shock, right? At the end?
It must have been, right? I mean, England was. England was
just
top
saw
five.
Fear. I definitely just saw Fear shrooming, so.
I think
I
they
think that
got
was
Jake
just
and
maybe-
Ornan into set, and they just kind of
Yeah.
didn't pull. They didn't pull the sauce.
Just 3-4-5 into set, Hail Mary, a blue maybe? That's really was their only chance.
Yeah, yeah.
Even
Man,
like a triple shrooms or a mega wouldn't have gotten them first at least.
Yeah, the first shot call, man, from India. I have no words
Very
for that one.
strange.
And that,
I thought that Emil was using that build because we saw Bagger get starred there, I figured that was under getting started, him saying just use the bill, kind of make it so Fear might be able to not get it next set and then pull bill later on so he can catch up.
Or maybe they had it, he was about to lose it. I don't know.
I
Maybe
don't
he
know.
already got started, but either way, again, it backfires. You know, India not taking advantage of these items that they're getting. Stuff like shock and power that you have to call out at a specific point. We saw Goldmine, they lost you know, what was looking like a pretty good race because of their POW. And now once again, they have fallen behind early. Down 19, is that? I think so.
Yeah, 101 to 82. Obviously, this is still within, you know, a one race range. Best race you can possibly get to plus 31, top 4-9, but you don't want this England team to break off again. You know, you're already down a match. You don't want the pressure to be on you this whole time. And especially if they get a good race here, you don't have that room resetting the spots because it's a 12 race GP.
Yeah, and
So
finally we see a team getting their running track. You know, last
Yeah.
war we saw reset track after reset track. We were
Yeah, there
playing,
really was.
we were playing RMC, MC3, going down the list, and finally England gonna have a chance to capitalize on their tough spots with a Daisy in first as well. Could be really dangerous.
Well, let's see. The first few turns are so pivotal here. Let's see if England can play them well. All the backs miss.
Yeah, he does
Pretty
get
common
bumps.
strat. When you have
Hornet
top
and
3 on
Xander
this
getting
track,
hit.
just back spamming relentlessly. A lot of D1 teams doing that.
Jake gets all the way up there. Let's see if he can block glitch in time before Chi gets there. It looks like he's going to be able to, assuming he doesn't have, you know, 2 green shells or whatever. And, no, it's unblocked. Chi's going to be going for it. Oh, no, he's not. Wait, did somebody go for it?
I think it might have been Fred. Fred's very good at that shroomless cut, even on Funky. Most of this room is good at this shortcut.
Yeah, at this point in the
I'm sure he
game,
won't be the last guy to take it.
so many people have put in time behind the scenes to get good at that cut. It's kind of like the new thing.
Yeah, very impressive, I gotta say.
Yeah,
That is
yeah,
not
it's
easy. Especially
hard.
on Funky, that is not easy.
It's hard. Either way, it looks like Jake is probably still first. I don't think anybody took it and passed him. Or am I wrong? Did Fred get up there? How did Fred?
Yeah, Fred took
Wasn't he? He was just in like 6th. What did I miss? Maybe he did make it. And
Emil
Jake's out
holding
of
on to
there.
this golden. Hoping this cut won't be blocked.
Yeah, maybe Pix is going to be instructed to unblock it just to get Emil up there, but he's got a player right in front of him that he might have to worry
Got a
about.
Nana on the cut. Emil
Yeah, he
should
just
just
goes
hold
around.
here. Try to sneak past Zach's red.
Yeah, still a really good spot to Golden, especially on Daisy. You can take that spiral really quick. 3-4 right now for India. Not too bad.
These triple reds, if there's no shock, and Emil's going to use them, but I was going to say if he holds them for the glitch and goes through that banana, could be his best
Yeah,
first, but
he did. I guess he wasn't thinking that long term. Also, there's always a chance that they block it with like a fib or something extra.
Yeah.
So, you know. Oh, but he gets backed again. This England top 2 putting in work right now. And this is kind of a thing that I remember them doing really well against Japan. When they were top spots, they were hitting a ton of back spams just to
India
hold their
shot.
lead. Let's
Xander
see,
picks up first
Xander,
star.
huge
That's Emil.
flag.
Nice play by him.
Yeah, Emil pretty
India's
much
bottom
doesn't.
3.
He doesn't really have any way of getting into the front. Even if he makes glitch, he's still going to be maybe in the mid pack and no box to boot either. Everyone
That
on
should
India
block
has to
still,
go
it's
for
not.
it. He makes it and he's in.
Probably
Is that Xander in
fourth
front
now.
of him? 5th?
Fifth.
Yeah.
Jake made it as well, infiltrating this top 3. But should still be a very good race for England. Top 2-4 looks like. Top 2-4-6.
Yeah, England once again looking good.
Even with Emil and Jake making glitch at the end there. That England shot. Was it an England shock? I think it was an India shock because Zach dropped a star.
Someone dropped a star. It might. You probably saw it better than I did. And I don't know if anybody really got TS off of that. Maybe they got one guy out, but I think the real difference that race was lap 2. We saw India in 3-4. You know, kind of contesting the top spots, and then their 2 players both got hit out. And
Yeah.
they kind of had to play catch up for the rest of the race. And that was what I was saying against Japan is what England did so well. You know, just hitting so many backs in top spots on these running tracks where they can solidify their top spots and then worry about the rest of the race.
Oh,
once
looks like
they
we
that
don't have a
secured.
12 race GP.
Yeah, interesting. Huh. If you're England, you probably wish you did, because they'd be starting top 2-4, but either way, you're going to have a tiny little gap between the races here.
But a 54-point start for Chi. On some of his
Yeah.
strongest tracks, we got BCW and a Mountain there for him.
Yeah,
So
the
I'm not
Daisy pick is
surprised.
working like a charm. Not so much luck for Emil P on the other hand. And so England, yeah, hot start. Not quite as good as last four. You know, they didn't get any top fours back to back, but they're just playing really solid. And it's not even like they're getting, you know, all the shocks right now.
No, yeah, they're playing off India's shocks well. They're holding those top spots early. Like we saw on BCW there, they got into top 2, top 3, blocked the cut, was able to run that. Sherbet land, the early shock, Xander took advantage of it, got that top 2 break. Him and I believe it was Zach. And then at the end, they were able to use their own. Or not, no, they wasn't their own, but they were able to take advantage of India's shock again.
If you want
Yeah,
to shock
they're
match
really
one up
bouncing
to
off they're bouncing off India's shocks really well. This is
Yeah.
kind of the opposite of what happened last
Yeah, I was
match
gonna say.
with the same results.
You could chalk match one up to shock diff, maybe, but there's no denying that they're kind of just outplaying India right now,
Yeah, absolutely.
race after race.
34-point lead. Still really anyone's game, obviously.
Yeah, so much can change in the blink of an eye. We saw India, you know, claw their way back, bringing last match within striking distance, you know, and with a top 4 like they got on VC3, that lead can disappear in the blink of an eye. So, still a lot of gaming left to game, as they say.
Get DKS. England's pick. England could have had top 2, 4, 6 to start, and they forgot their 12 race, so they get 1, 3, 5 again.
Yeah, I guess can the host just like pick what they want for that? I don't really know the.
It's supposed to be 12. I think Zach just forgot to put it on, but as we can see, it was a detriment to their team. They don't get that TF pick.
Yeah, however, still, you know, not looking too bad. DKS is a pretty strong track for first, especially if you can make it to the double cut. And it looks like they might still be first as India's bottom 3. Nothing really going their way right now. Fred doesn't have an item to block cut, but he's kind of
Going for single from first. I like the play. I like that
yeah.
play.
If that's an India player behind him, you know, you gotta respect that play. Don't want to get bumped off and lose your spot. They have so much frontal presence that, you know, they just need to stay up here and, you know, make it tough for India. They don't really have to drive.
I mean, it's
as
an
fast as
instant
possible.
top 3 big break for England.
Yeah.
We'll see who's strat first here. It looks like it's Under's making strat way before Fear here.
Yeah, only issue is it takes a while. It takes a while to get shock on this track, and he slows. There might be a blue already, considering how hard he stopped.
To get him
or maybe
Sherman
he's
first.
just letting Zach in. Yeah,
just letting Zach get into Sherman
there's
first.
the
And
blue.
there's
I think they threw blue before cannon, but he kind of just drives into it anyway.
And did not. Maybe the humps messed him up. I don't know. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but Fred putting some nanas on double, hoping to mess up Ornan, and messes up himself a bit.
Oh no. England with some uncharacteristic flubs. They've been playing so airtight in top spots thus far, but things are looking bad. However, there's still top two break and blue shell in Fred's pocket as well.
I haven't been paying too much attention to the bagging, but we did see Under was 10th by a lot. Could be an India shock here.
Yeah, no cannon shot coming in. Doesn't look like there's gonna be one. On our other POV, we just saw Mill burn a Mega not too long ago, so I guess they don't have it either. And
no shock there. Should be a confirmed England top 2. Fred's holding the blue.
Yeah, could even be a top 3 if he blues picks on the line. Let's see what happens here at double. He takes a good double this time.
Nice
Nothing like last lap, and he manages to make it. I don't know where Pix went. There he is.
Gonna be neck and neck with him and Pix to see what he can get here. Triple shrooms.
He gets hit. But there goes Chi in the bill. This is still really good for England.
That's gonna be like top 3-5. Yeah, Fred's stream froze up on us there at the end, but with Chi building up,
played that perfectly. But like, I mean,
they made it work.
Yeah, they just had all the cards in their favor right there.
At the very least, top 3-5. I was gonna say Fred got the best thing possible, and then there's Pix making a good play with the Reds, I guess. But that build from Chi, wow, looks like it might have been a shock 9 for Fear if I had to guess.
Wow, it's top 4.
Top 4, 9 for England. It's gonna double their lead.
Man. Yeah, they double up on their early lead, just like last match. Insane how history is repeating itself already, and it was lap 1 that made the difference again on a track that like that. You know, double cut is such an important spot there. India was bottom 3 out the gate, and they just could not get anybody up there early on. Wow, England looking scary right now. They're trying to go all the way. The way they're playing, they could definitely do it.
Yeah, matches like this can't, and any high-level match, can't stress enough how important lap 1 is, getting those leads. Because now, as we can see, when England does get the shock, they can use it to just bolster it or protect their top spots. They don't have to use it just to make things even or catch up. It's so important to get that early lead.
Yeah, this is just brutal if you're India. They're kind of losing out in a lot of different departments right now. You know, running wise, mid pack, it doesn't really seem like they have anything going for them right now. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I don't want to count them out, but it's
Definitely
looking bad.
it's an uncharacteristic showing from India so far.
Yeah. Maybe they're just having an off day, and it could get a little bit worse right now as
Yeah. Now they're
England
changing
is
some
starting to
track
get their
picks here.
track picks. Yeah.
See what Emil does. See if he wants to go for Bill from 8th. Not a super common strat, but
He's not even gonna
done
get a
nonetheless.
box. And yeah, Fear sits behind the boxes. Makes sense for Team England. You don't want Bill to be a factor at all, given that your team is probably going to be top spots for the majority of this race. And I think it's maybe a top 3 right now.
It looks like England was able to hold most of their spots.
Yeah. Not a lot of potential yet for India to bring this one back. It seems like they didn't get a very good start. Maybe people were getting hit or, weren't able to get shrooms. Still have a lot of ground to cover.
Yeah.
And they're getting powed
England
over
already
here, kind
top
of in the
3
mud.
with this drop out. Nice pow from Chi.
Yeah. That's
gonna
a
screw 'em up
great
bad.
great team play for Chi there. Getting powed around Shroomless and Mud can be really scary, and their whole team was kind of in a clump. So, yeah, this top 3 has so much room to work with.
Blue's out, so that's good. India is in all the blue spots, so they should be able to chain a few here.
Yeah, that blue they dodged it. Pow is going to be, a little bit helpful too. I thought he maybe would go for the target pow right there on the conveyors, but I guess they're going to opt to hold it till Shroomless, try to get somebody off, or maybe in the mud.
Probably just gonna get Ornan in the air here. Looks like he didn't. Ornan's gonna have to go around.
Yeah, a side trick is kind of scary too. They both live, but again, they're not really gaining on England at all. There's a second blue coming in. It might chip away a little bit. Xander gets hit out.
Under should be spamming boxes here.
Yeah, India needs shock desperately at this point in the race.
Not this pack's pretty tight, but for TF, it's still very hard to. There's no real spot to shroom up,
Yeah, Zach
You're
and
gonna
Fred
need
aren't
to
going
plug it in
anywhere.
There it is. Emil just threw a blue on our other pop, so Fred will be getting hit out here any second. Probably gonna stop on this ramp. Oh, maybe not.
There it is. So he's gonna lose a lot of spots. He could definitely get comboed. He has to go around cut. Still looks like England's gonna maybe win the race.
2-3 for India. See if he can block this right at the line.
He's gotta hold back, and
Well,
yeah, he gets
1-4-5 for England, and with the 65-point lead, you're gonna take that any day.
Yeah, I mean, India had a lot of I would say, well, maybe not good luck, but decent luck at the end, because usually at the start you'd expect somebody to get like triple shrooms or mega or something and get up there, which they didn't get. So I guess it was unlucky at the beginning, but then 3 blues kind of acted as damage control for them to keep the race even. So
Yeah, that's a bit of a blessing for India getting those 2-3 theres after the way England started that lap 1. Like I said, those lap 1s are just so pivotal. So pivotal to get up there.
yeah, with players who are so good at keeping their spots when they're in a winning position, lap 1.
And against a team like India who are really good at hitting players, you don't want to even get near them.
Once you get out of the woods, it makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, England's bouncing off India's playstyle very well here. It's going to make it tough for them to come back. And with the 70-ish point lead, England's got to feel pretty good right now.
Yeah, another thing worth noting that didn't really happen last match is that a lot of the running tracks are getting eaten up now early on. So if India starts to get good races, they're not going to have those TFs and BCWs that they can rely on to chain races together. They're going to have to kind of do it one race at a time.
No more mountain either. We are running out of stuff here. And with a couple daisies, I doubt we'll see rainbow either.
Yeah, you'd have to expect. Although maybe, Emil does have a pocket funky that is known for putting in work. I don't know if we'll see him resort to it. You never know. But yeah, gonna be something to look out for.
RBC another track pick for England.
Yeah, RBC is another really popular one lately, especially this beginning session with the drafts that can set the tone for the race. Emil gets bumped out again. We've kind of seen that a few times thus far throughout the series. Let's see. Ornan might
Bomb
be their top
up.
spot right now.
Misses everyone. Wow, that's shocking. That's usually a confirmed bomb spot.
Yeah, I don't know how everybody managed to avoid that. He's gonna go for the red on Xander, and he gets
my
bombed.
God.
And it's a 2-for-1 trade. 2 members of India. We saw the exact same thing happen last war on this track, actually.
Yeah.
Emil and Ornan got back bombed the turn before that on lap 1, and so England looking good. He's got to
Ornan
give the
has a
TC
dodge
up
here.
to his teammate. Yeah, Ornan's gonna be canceling this, but that's a dodge that you have to burn, and with England being in 6th, they're not gonna be able to get too many more of those. They kind of have to do what they did last race and go for blues, given that they are all in the mid spots right now.
Yeah, Pick's getting hit on rail. We got a top 3 break again for England. And Fred holding that 8th, they're not going to get a lot of really good items to catch up with. Obviously, they can get the blues still. They got all the blue spots again. They're going to kind of have to play this. They're going to have to play this like TF. They're going to have to avoid all these back spams as Pick hits a Nana and just spam some blues.
Yeah, I think they just used a POW somewhere up there, so maybe that brings it a little bit closer.
It was
There's the first blue that we can see. If I'm Emil, I'm terrified right now. Okay, he gets out of there. That was nicely done. Hoping for a chain, doesn't get it.
That blue and TC with the red combo put Indy in a good spot here. 2-4-5.
Yeah, 2-4-5, almost getting that combo red on Xander. He had to lose some time and concede his spot to Jake, so they're bringing this one back, and they're pretty close to first, so this is still super winnable for them. Looks like England's bottom 2. POW last turn is unfortunate for them. Jake lost a lot of time there taking rail.
Top 2 still broken off a bit.
Picks backs his teammate, kind of unfortunate. Emil would have been in a really nice spot with those shrooms. He would have just been able to take cut and hold his spot up there. Ornan gets hit.
Ornan's hit out. England shock.
It's an England shock.
Double
Yeah, Fred
dodge.
chaining his star. Actually, not
No
chaining,
dodge.
but either way.
This is a
he's
good play
just-
here.
Yeah, yeah.
And he'll take
Because he's
over
basically
first.
winning the race no matter what. Might as well go for some hits while you're there, surrounded by the entire other team. And this is going to be a really good race for England, most likely. Seeing a lot of green lines behind Fred right now.
Yeah. This looks like top 4 for England so far. Mills got some triple reds. Fred should be finishing up here in first. Kind of a risky green throw, but...
He
Yeah.
hits his teammate on the line! What are we doing?
Yeah, there's really no reason to throw that, but... Still a good race for England, regardless.
Did he get last off of that, or was that Emil? I think Emil got megaed on the line. But, yeah.
Well, his Daisy is shaking her head, so...
Tough stuff. England with another strong RBC showing.
Yeah,
Back bomb lap 1. I mean, that's...
they're using some great shocks this match.
Yeah, can't deny that. Their shocks have been so impactful. I mean, we've talked about how the shocks that India has used have been kind of questionable. You know, Goldmine, we weren't really sure what was going on. That first one on Sherbet was also not super helpful for them. And every
Yeah.
single England shock is just, you know, blowing these races wide open.
Well, that's
And,
that's really been the difference. Is England's shocks
Yeah.
are to bolster their race, and India's shocks are to kind of come back into them. That's just been the story here.
And that's
The
why
shot
they're
count
down.
isn't-
That's
Shot
why
count
they're down
isn't
93.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
pretty close to even. England's winning it by a bit, it seems, but you know, that's really the big difference.
Yeah, England has to be feeling good. I mean, at this point, they just got to tap it in. We don't have that many races left to go, and a comeback this size is almost never seen
Yeah,
at this level, or really any level, to be honest.
this is honestly this is a shocking lead.
Yeah,
I
had
would have
no
definitely
idea.
put India as a team that was going to the finals. So
yeah.
honestly, still very possible here. Not saying it's not.
I went
but-
all in on my channel points on India, and now I'm
Oh, I
broke.
would never. I got 75,000 of these bad boys. I'm not risking anything.
I had like 27K down the drain. But either way, India
think
got a
the,
dig deep.
I think the
Yeah.
results of the poll we put before this was about 2/3 of people picking England to win. So 2/3 of people will be quite happy with their channel points after this.
Yeah, India's got to do some archaeological digging
Yeah.
to figure out a way out of this one. And early TC is just so disappointing if you're a mill.
Yeah. He's got to go all out to pass this.
Yeah, his teammates getting
England's
hit.
top 3 already.
And he
Passes
gives
to
it
his
to Jake with the
teammate.
triple reds. That's no good either.
Ugh.
Jake maybe could have made a play there. Triple shrooms.
Triple Shoes isn't going to do much on the bridge. He's got to play it safe.
Yeah, luckily he doesn't get hit. I mean, he can maybe work his way up into like second, but he's trying to train. I don't know about this. He's not going to get a box here, so he's kind of just stuck behind them. He could have taken cut there. Maybe getting a little bit desperate, given that they are so far behind.
It's another well-played England lap 1. Put their track pick, and they're not disappointing on it.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see some more strong back swims like we've seen the whole time, at least forcing Emil to slow down, if not just hitting him straight up. Zach's been a monster up there in the top spots.
You saw Under sitting there. Didn't see Fear. Might have run off. I'm not sure. Might have been just losing Bill. But
Yeah,
Under's
Emil-
got to be spamming boxes here for sure.
Yeah, this is such a hard spot if you're Emil. I mean, it feels like he's a little tilted based on the gameplay. Like, he's not driving super clean. He's not making the smartest decisions. And England is just...
You gotta wonder what
right now.
what the attitude of the India call is right now. Whether they're kind of keeping their
Yeah.
head in it, or if they're kind of just losing focus. Because it's easy to
don't
lose
know.
focus once you can't get any track picks. You know, shocks aren't in your favor. It's tough to keep a positive mindset. Very, very tough.
Yeah, Mega, no cannon
works in
shock
the
for
top
India. Things are looking dire again. He's getting bumped on the jack, losing a lot of time. He just has to chain this, I guess.
Like, 2 dodges for India. Pulls Bill. Under needs to be spamming boxes here.
Yeah,
Even
no
if he
dice for
accidentally
them
gives up a
yet.
box in 10th, you gotta make some kind of play. Pretty close pack, so a shock for a mill could be huge for him.
Yeah, there's a bomb. England's at least, I think they're top 2.
Ooh.
He has to spam Bill now. Gonna get
Should
him up
take
to like
to about
third.
the line.
Yeah. Still a winning race for England. Just
Top
a
2 for England.
masterclass.
Just outrunning them every race here.
Yeah, I mean, that race
Can't argue that.
looked just miserable on Emil's POV. He was 4th place. There was the TC. He pulled triple shrooms, but like, I mean, that just felt impossible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
England just
that
played so
again, that
tight.
lap 1, I mean, England was able to get their back spams off. The TC helped them, obviously, bouncing it around between players. If Jake was able to live with those chip reds, might have been a different story, but they still hold at least top 2 there. You know, they're putting themselves in winning spots every single time.
Yeah, and it's 108 points with, what is that, 1 GP left? This is...
Yeah.
They're almost already mathematically out of it. They need to go massive every race from here on out. Everybody on England's eating right now. It's coming home.
Yeah. We might, maybe we'll see a runner sub for Under. Maybe we'll see, like, Devil come in. Because they need, you know, if they get plus 31 races every time, they win by 20 right now, you know? So
Yeah.
they need everything to go right this GP.
I feel like they're not even thinking about that at this point. Like, to me, it seems like they're already defeated. There was one time there, Emil was like, he was 4th on the branch, and he saw Zach going wide, and I was thinking in my head, like, they probably backed something tight, and Zach's going wide to avoid it, and then Emil just kind of drove into it. And it feels to me like they're not pulling out all the stops at this point. I think India feels pretty much crushed on all fronts.
Well, the score will tell you that. As we're
Yeah.
going into this last GP down 108. And I guess we'll see what they got, see what they're made of here. Maybe
Yeah,
we'll
I mean,
see,
it's
maybe we'll see
doable.
some fishing poles coming out. I don't know. A little bit of fishing pole, a little bit of Moonview Highway.
A little bit of sending it to the referee.
As much as I hate to say, that's kind of India's only chance here. I think they probably will do that. at a
Yeah,
point.
this will make for the greatest comeback story probably in the history of the game. I mean, we're talking about the stakes,
Yeah.
the odds of them winning at this point. This will be a YouTube video, a summoning solve video even. I'm
Perhaps,
saying it
yeah.
right now. I mean, but there's just no way. There's just no way. I hate to be that guy, but
There's probably. Hey, listen.
talk to me.
Think crazier things have happened. Have they?
Have
not?
they? Have they really?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Have they really?
I'm not sure.
All right, we
But I
got.
would love to see a crazy thing happen.
I would, dude. It's about
And
time.
here's India's track pick. It'll start on India's track pick.
Yeah, let's see it. Emil's got to dig even deeper. I know I keep saying that, but yeah, he can only dig so deep at this point. He's kind of running out of room.
I think England did in fact get every track pick last GP.
Yeah, that is
Just
rough.
checking it out.
That is rough.
They got Summit, TF, RBC, and MT. Back to back to back to back.
And Mill can't even get into first off this goal. They just can't. They're just looking for anything, any type of break at this point. And England is not budging an inch. Xander's playing solid. Everyone's playing solid.
Yeah, England is really locked in right now. They found a good mesh with this this lineup here. I think this is the lineup we'll see in the finals as well.
Oh yeah, I'd be insanely surprised if they don't stick with this going forward.
Only substitution that you might see is Jazz back in for
Yeah,
Fear.
perhaps.
This running lineup has really proven themselves. As Henry was saying before, a lot of these guys are players only from the past 3-4 years. Worked their way up into this. This is a totally different England lineup than what we've seen in past years, other than with the exception of Xander and Jazz. I want to say the 2020 lineup was something like it was Sean Tanny, Luke,
Klein.
Xander, Klein.
Flary, I think, got some matches.
Flary was up there, yeah. Flary played a lot of matches. 2021 was about the same, just without Klein.
This new generation of England, though, is
We got a
hitting
totally
different.
new team here. We got these 4 guys, Luke still, and Ryan onto the bench. It's a deep team. This is a good team here. There's a reason they were 1 seed.
Yeah, I kind of doubted them a little bit earlier on. You know, they dropped a match. I forget who it was. They dropped a match in the Swiss stage.
Underdropping star, Emil going right past it.
Does he leave it for his teammate, or did he just not
Yeah.
look forward?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he did. I think that's Pix picking it up. And Mill's winning this race. Let's check out what Fred's doing, because the middle spots are going to be more important right now. And as India does need to get like top 3-ish, maybe a little better than that to win this.
Blue might connect here. Probably should. Yeah, Mill's
Yeah, it
out of there.
does. And Mill doesn't even get first after all that. And it looks like
Pix
India's
getting
getting 8th too.
It's like maybe like a top 2-5.
I mean,
They're gonna need
yeah,
stronger races.
it might actually just be mathematically over.
You're gonna need some stronger races. Maybe we'll see a sub. Maybe we'll see them reset for that runner sub. But you know,
Yeah, what a day from England.
if you
I
lose,
wonder
you're
if
out
they,
here. There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I wonder if they've used up all of their mojo, all of their good fortune on this match. Maybe they'll bust around in the finals, but it's hard to imagine them losing anything right now. I mean, even that's a winning race for them, right? So this is over. It's 105 points. They
Yeah.
literally need to all run every race and get more than top 4s.
Yes, they top 4-9 is not gonna cut it anymore. They gotta make some desperation plays. I'm sure we'll see GV2. Maybe still see Moonview. I'm not sure, but hopefully Fear knows that if it is Moonview, he should just either honestly just probably go forward, or just stay like right behind the pack.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah, there's
This
the
is a-
GV2.
I don't know what to say. I had there wasn't even a thought in my mind that the match was going to go like this beforehand.
Yeah, this going into it on paper, I thought this was gonna be a dead heat. Really was. I probably would have given India the running advantage and then the bagging advantage to England because I thought they were gonna use Jazz, but with Fear out there, I thought honestly India had the edge, but England has done nothing but dominate here. And yeah, we see Fear going forward. He's not gonna risk any trolls. There's no reason to.
Yeah, Fear going forward as well, getting his chance to make some plays.
We saw Fred go backwards at the start, holding Bill. It's a good play. Keep Shock out of it. It's the only way that they can really have a big race is if they get Shock and then hopefully
Yeah.
come back. So
I think Zach's still first for England, which is really all they need.
we see the
would
Daisy up
imagine.
there. We see Chi.
Yeah, they're cooking. Top 2 for England. Maybe India will pull a shock, flip it around, but
And we see Fear now stopped up in the corner. Might be holding Shock. Backing
Pix
picks.
lands on that. Maybe that red hits. I think Fred looks like he's dodging that shock. because his POV is a little bit
Yeah,
behind.
This is
He's
over,
gonna go
folks.
bomb a mill just for fun. Incoming. He actually
Oh.
misses.
Owned. Top 2-5.
Dang.
Well,
That's
not
it.
what
I don't even
India
know
was
if they're gonna
hoping for
play.
that.
I don't even know if they're gonna play it out at this point. I mean, they just literally can't win at all.
they might. They might still. We might see some LC,
Yeah.
but I think it'll be played.
And after such a dominant run from India up till this point, they get stopped in their tracks, losing 0-2 and losing. I mean, I'll say it. They lost badly, especially
Yeah.
in this match. First match, they were down the whole time. You know, if you look at this, just the score alone, maybe that one looks like it was kind of close, but really, it was just all England all day today.
Yeah, India going into this tournament obviously has never had a team before. There's been a couple Team Asias, including this year, but they've never made this Team India that there was talks about in past years of making, but finally came to fruition this year, and it is a strong roster. And they have, I think, we're kind of the dark horse for this tournament. They only got, I think, 5th seed preliminary, and at least in SC we were talking about it that they could have probably been a 1 or a 2 seed. But
Yeah, they were looking really scary. I mean, like a lot of these teams, but they've kind of just drawn dead here.
yeah, this is a shocking loss, I gotta say.
Yeah, the blokes going crazy right now. They're gonna be one best of 3 away from winning their first ever Mario Kart World Cup. After this, I guess we're just gonna play it out. These races don't really matter. Maybe we'll see some swag on the screen.
England lost in this round last year, I think, to Japan.
That could be right.
Unless it was to US North, I really don't remember, but yeah, lost in this round last year, making it back to the finals for the first time since 2020 when they went by England, or when they went by UK, sorry.
Okay, yeah.
And looking to bring home their first World Cup championship. Going to be playing against the winner of USA North and USA South.
Yeah, that match I don't think has yet to be scheduled. Do you know anything about that?
We're looking at either late night Wednesday for all our American viewers, you know, going late to work the next day, and or Friday evening, which might be a little bit more palatable for a cast, but yeah, we'll see.
And that will determine who our 2 finalists are going to be.
Should be
India's
a
had
really
a good
exciting
run.
match.
Good run. They beat a lot of tough teams to get here. They made a great team roster video beforehand. One of the best I've ever seen.
I gotta check that out. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's fire. It's on a Mills channel. They definitely made this World Cup way more interesting than it would have been without them. So
Yeah, definitely made their mark here. This has definitely been the deepest World Cup we've seen, I think, ever. I mean, I haven't been around for all of them.
yeah, in terms of the amount of
especially
teams
compared-
that could win.
Yeah, especially compared to the last 2 years when they were broadcasted on Endgame and on Ludwig's channel. I wish that he would do this one because this one has so many good teams. This would have been a really fun one to have the world see, but it's made some great content so far for the community. It's been awesome, I think.
Yeah, we've been getting numbers. Shoutouts to the
Yeah, thanks
around
everyone for
400
tuning in
people
lately.
around
Yeah.
right now. Even
This
though
has
this
been
match
really
is
great.
basically over. People taking time out of their day. See, last second bomb from Emil. He's gonna hit.
Nobody.
Hits one. It's the draft. Kind of niche.
Kind of niche. Kind of a niche play by Emil P. But still a top 2 for England. God dang.
What up, England?
What up, England?
Yeah, it really looks like this England lineup is going to be a mainstay. I can't imagine they switch after this. Everyone seems to be playing so well. You know, there's no one player that's scoring less or, you know, failing really at all.
Yeah.
I don't really remember any like noticeable like mistakes or anything lacking from Fred's gameplay so far. He seems to be playing up to the level of his team, and
Yeah, when everyone's playing well on this team, it is very strong. The chem is there. The experience is there with Xander and Jazz. I mean, this team really is it's going to be a threat.
Yeah, Fear's been their guy too lately. He's bringing them the goods, the loot. What to do? What to do?
I
This
hope
might
you
be the-
guys.
this might
We
be the
might be
year.
having a we might be having an interview with a couple Team England members. If you guys want to stick around for that.
Yeah, gotta
Not sure
talk to
yet.
some of them,
We haven't talked to
talk
them yet
some of
about
the
it.
lads.
Hopefully, we'll get something in here.
I would love to see how they feel about this. If they think that this is if this is the true showing of how good their team actually is, or if they think
Yeah.
that they're not expecting it to be this easy going on. Because this is rare to see a team, this good.
I mean,
lose
winning
like
by this much so late in the tournament, they really made their mark here.
Yeah, I'd be scared if I was from
I
the
keep
United
saying it.
States.
We keep saying how shocked we are. But it's hard not to
Yeah.
bring it up. I mean, 400 points after 11 races.
Yeah, that's unreal stuff.
400 after 12 is a slaughter.
BC3 for their victory lap. Emil going for it all. He doesn't trick. He might have made it.
Oof,
Oh,
so close.
disappointing. Winner of the Tito D98 10 level shortcut challenge.
Is that true?
I think so. He beat Ornan. Yeah.
Well, the end of the 10 level shortcut challenge has some crazy shit. Some crazy daisy shit. Pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's like left side BC weak glitch and shit. It's not
He
easy.
makes that. He makes that too.
It's easy. It's easy for this guy.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just not your day. No matter
Yeah,
how
I think that's what we
much
saw
work you
from
put
India
in,
here.
how much
Because
talent you have. Sometimes
Yeah.
it just happens.
just happens. Sometimes things just don't go your way. I mean, while England did play great, chaining 4 track picks straight, obviously you got to perform, but that is quite fortunate for them. Ooh,
Oh, there he
there
goes.
we go.
There he
All
goes.
right. Excellent job. Yeah, that
Put up
looks,
a mill.
that looks fucking cool.
Yeah. He'll always have some level of swag, even when he's down 130 and on the doorstep of being kicked out of the World Cup.
He's taking this loss like a champ here.
Yeah. He'll bounce back for sure. These guys will be fine. Yeah, I would love to see what they have to say about this too. Want to ask them about their lineups going forward. Because if I'm them, I'm keeping this lineup. If it ain't broke, I mean,
Absolutely.
it's working like a charm right now. Go for it again.
Ooh.
Ah. Tough. So yeah, hopefully we can line up that interview.
Yeah, we'll get to
Just a few minutes.
we'll see if that's happening in a sec. Talking to them right now.
And as they finally cross the line, that
That'll do
officially
it.
wraps up the match. No minus 100 penalties.
And England is going to the finals.
Yeah, you could say that again. Geez, this team is, after that match alone, they're looking kind of unbeatable.
Yeah, that is a strong showing.
Yeah, that is terrifying. They just did everything well. There wasn't like a single moment where I was like, India's looking like the better team right now. It was just through and through, like the 24 races they played, and they were good in all of them. That is hard to do.
Well, the number 1 seed going into the whole tournament. Finally
Yeah.
showing up here, big. We saw
Yeah,
them.
they
We saw them
didn't
miss
have
up
a
a few
great
times. Lost a match
Mhm.
versus Japan. Lost one of their matches versus U.S. North earlier in the Swiss stage, but they came hot here.
Yeah, if there's a time to get hot, you want it to be, as late as possible. And they're hitting their stride right now. They just gotta keep it up for one more set if they want to take the whole thing against one of the USA teams. So congrats to them for advancing, and let's see if we can snag a couple of them just to
Yeah.
chat for a few minutes. See who we can get. Yeah, they just have to be feeling amazing after that.
Checking in with them right now. Hopefully we'll get an answer soon.
Yeah, they're probably celebrating a little bit, drinking their British stuff.
Their disgusting food and disgusting beer.
Yeah. Saying all kinds of weird jargon in their accents and whatever. Yeah, strong stuff. And I mean, Fred hasn't played that many matches with them so far, right? I mean, usually they would have Luke. I think the past couple of rounds they've had Luke, G, Xander, and Zach, right? So good stuff
Yeah.
for Fred too. With his POV being casted, a lot of people play a lot worse. It's kind of a thing. You play worse when you're being casted or streamed or whatever, just because of nerves. But he didn't show any signs of faltering, which is really impressive. But that's something that people don't talk about a lot. It's one thing to be good and like have skill, but it's also another thing to be able to play your best. When it all counts and when people are watching.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor, especially late in these stages. A lot of people don't like streaming. They don't want their pop up there. I definitely know a few guys who are like that. But I think it's fun whenever I'm on a cast or something. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's also a chance to prove yourself, and I think they did that. So
All right, looks like we'll have someone to interview here. If I can get him the link.
yeah. If anybody missed that match, the scoreboard really says it all. If you're just tuning in, it was kind of a wash. And England, I mean, they were kind of the only non-North America team left, if you think about it, right?
Yeah, all right, we'll be having Fear and Xander in here in just a sec. Gonna drag him in the call.
Let's go.
And we'll have this interview ready to go.
Two goats.
Gentlemen.
Hello.
Welcome.
What's up?
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was
Xander,
something.
first question for you.
What's up?
This is not your first time going to a Mario Kart World Cup finals.
It is
But
not.
it is your first time with a lineup like this. How have they been performing thus far?
Oh, I have a lot to say, but I'll try to keep it relatively short.
I knew you would.
Yeah, very typical of me, I guess. But obviously the lineup is like way different than just like the last World Cup already, right? With like even just like Bo, Fred, and Zach like kind of appearing out of nowhere, and even having like chemistry with each other as well. It's been really, really cool to see like not just players like improving in general, but also obviously having them be in like England, right? Having like such like a roster depth, I think just all the options we have has been really, really nice. Like running all the different lineups, and then even looking at like baggers, like we got like Fear and Oven as well, right? And then Fear especially has done like a really fucking good job both like last match and this match. For whilst like Jazz like hasn't really been like feeling the play, right? And I mean, from playing with Fear, I mean, I haven't had a chance to ask him this myself, but it sounds like he just doesn't have nerves like at all. And considering I haven't seen him play at like this sort of not like level, but on the big stage, right? Like this sort of tournament. Like I would have expected him to be fucking shaken, right? I feel like most people probably would be. But he just sounds like he's perfectly fine. Like from the start of the match, like last weekend to the end of this one, he's just sounded perfectly fucking calm, and he's done a really fucking good job. And obviously the runners as well, they've done really, really well, and they're all like, I'm like super impressed with the roster this year, to be honest.
Well, Fear, that's some pretty high praise. Where is this confidence coming from?
I don't really know, honestly. I think when I got asked to sub the first match, I was really fucking nervous practicing. But like the first 3 races, I'd say, of the first match, I started playing pretty well, and I think that kind of fueled me and motivated me to carry through. And then this match, I was pretty nervous, but I feel like I kind of had a little bit of an ego going into it just because of my performance from the last match.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
at the
I'm
same
glad.
time, I wasn't gonna like shoot down under in any way because he's a very good bagger, and I think it was a very close this match. But I was definitely a lot more calm this match than last one, just because I've had way more experience with Rose, and he's been me a lot in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for this match in particular, I think it was kind of weird. We both got extremely lucky on a lot of races, and it was just kind of even in that sense, luck-wise. We just both got extremely lucky. One race, and then the next race, the other person got lucky, I feel. But I think it was pretty even in terms of the bagger battle this war. I think I played very well.
Yeah, hard to say anything too bad about your performance or the lineup as a whole. You guys don't have to leak if you don't want to, but will we expect to see this lineup going forward in the finals?
It's hard to say, I think. Because, I mean, if you look at what we've been, like, running, right? Like, Luke has obviously played, like, a fair amount as well. And I think, like, he's been doing a really good job too, right? So, in my eyes, it kind of comes down to, like, which team, like, makes it to grand finals, and then, like, ultimately what since I'm probably the one who's going to be like deciding, like, at least in my mind, like, what I think or which players I think would like cater to our opponents, right, in terms of like how well we perform. But obviously, like, the 2S like chemistry does like help. Like I can feel when I play with them, like they've played a lot with each other, right? But that isn't to say that like I know for sure they'll be playing, because like when I play with Luke as well, like I appreciate his comms a lot. I think he's up there a good amount. Like it's really really hard to say.
Right. Well, you used Luke in the match versus Japan. Do you think
Yeah.
teams like that are better matchups for a player like him? Was that the decider, or was it just availability?
If I remember correctly, I think Fred wasn't available, but like in my mind, Luke had more like experience versus like Japan than Fred did. I think Fred has played like if I was to, I could be wrong here, but if you look at like the 2S guys, right? I think like Bo and Zach have played more Mogi than Fred, I think. So I would have expected them to like have had more experience versus Redlines, but Fred wasn't available anyway, so it doesn't really like that doesn't matter much. But Luke, I was hoping that the experience would help. Ultimately, that we didn't have as much of a choice though. Like I said, like the availability, but that's kind of like the pattern I've been like going with. Like at least trying my best to like make a lineup that I think would, you know, do well versus like a particular team.
Mm-hmm. How did you feel about going into this match versus Team India, who has never played in the tournament before, but obviously 5 great players are out there?
Yeah.
What did you think going in? You guys' chances.
Oh, I think our scrims versus them. I can't speak for like the entirety of my team. But our scrims versus them at least gave me some confidence because we did quite well versus them in scrims. But like obviously they went like undefeated, I'm pretty sure, throughout the whole tournament so far, and then they've been practicing like a lot, right?
Yeah.
So whilst I think we were confident, of course we weren't thinking like, okay, this is gonna be free or any stupid shit like that, right? Like, I'm sorry, maybe not just a curse, but anything silly like that. Like we obviously recognize that they're a really good team, and we know they've been playing a lot together as well. So again, we were confident, but we know they're really fucking good. I just cursed again. I'm so sorry.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, and then given that you guys were a little, not sure if you were going to win that match, how did it feel to, get those top 4s, GP1 back to back, and blow the match wide open? How did that change the call vibes?
At least from what I can remember, I think versus like just about like every team, whenever we've like started to get momentum, we've like kept it for like a decent portion of the war. So as soon as we started to like get races like that, at least personally, my confidence like shot up because I figured that okay, we're getting this now, we're gonna like maintain this for a little bit. That's how I felt. Of course, like I think in a couple matches we've slipped up like a little bit, but like because of like the lead we've had from those like races early on, we've managed to like stay in the lead. obviously the whole Japan war happened. That was we forget about that one, the first war there.
Yeah.
But like I said, getting those big races, I think usually we hold on to it. We develop like a big lead going into it. So
I think that even when like they're getting winning races, we've already broken away at the start, so we know that we can come back and maintain that lead. Like we know we can get big races against them, so we have that confidence that anything's possible.
Yeah.
Even when
Yeah.
we're down.
yeah, for sure. It's really helpful having that like safety net, of course, right?
Yeah.
Last question. Let's do one more question. Then we'll
Sure.
get you guys out of here. I did the math before this. Xander, this is your 978th World Cup match.
Please don't expose me, man.
Fear, this is your like third. How has this experience been
Yeah.
to you now? Going into the finals, probably going to be the starting bagger.
It's been pretty cool, honestly. Like, I think I hadn't been getting enough scrims in general, let alone with England, and I think that made me really underconfident, but I think I've just been buckling down, and I think, again, the doing well at the start and as a team and as myself is just fueling me, I think. So it'll kind of depend on how that goes, but if I was to play, I think that's going to be a main factor.
Yeah.
We got momentum at the start. I think we can maintain it.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very happy for you. Very happy for your team. Torp, you have anything else to say?
978.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm
believe
excited to see you guys
Can you believe that's a
represent.
real figure?
That's crazy. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's crazy.
I don't have too much to add. I mean, I'm excited to see you guys represent England, represent Europe as you go up against one of the USA teams. People have been talking about you guys for pretty much since the World Cup was announced as one of the favorites. So it's just going to come down to you guys performing like you did today, and I can't wait. So good luck, guys.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
looking forward to watching that match between the two USA teams for sure.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it too.
No,
Alright.
Mac.
yeah.
Oh, Mac.
All right, I think that's just about it. From all of us here at Mario Kart Central Wii, I'm Mac here with Torp. Thanks to Fusion for hosting today. And thanks to our two teams for some great content.
Yeah, shouts to Henry for casting match 1. Thanks everyone
Henry
for
casting.
watching. And I think that's it for us.
Send some love to whoever we host, and we'll see you here probably Wednesday for USA South versus USA North.